rules.
I had a question for the DM.
Yes.
That sword that I plucked from
Mm-hmm.
the orc. What should I add that to my inventory? But should I just add a great sword or?
Yeah, so it's a great sword, same damage as a great sword, same everything as a great sword,
Okay.
except that when a creature is so when there is a two creatures adjacent to each other, you're able to strike both of those creatures, assuming that you have reach on them.
Okay, so I'm just gonna add a great sword.
Mm.
Sword.
The only exception is if your roll doesn't meet
Mm.
both of their ACs, then it doesn't hit.
Mm. 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 Hmm. Besok tu macam mana sebab nanti Pak Tia nak vaksin. Hmm.
All right, so everybody, Oz, are you back?
Yep.
Cool. So we took a short rest. We're huddled in our small shelter that Kai had built for the group, and everybody is doing very light activity, just uh, de-stressing a bit as you sort of regain a portion of your abilities back. After your short rest, it is pretty late into the night. What would you like to do?
Hmm. Let's see.
Continue resting.
I mean, maybe we should have taken a little longer of rest.
Long rest take like 8 hours.
I
mm,
get the impression that this Goose fellow is probably not the
yeah, I'm thinking he's the lower,
main
like,
mind.
yeah, like like the sub boss or something.
So,
He's
what
not the one pulling the
happens?
strings because he's not. I don't think he's that smart.
Hmm. And so, what happens when he does not return during the night to whoever might be in charge?
Mm.
Are we pretty close to the village? I mean, would it be?
Yeah, you're so
We're right
you're yeah, you're right on the outskirts. Is probably a 5-minute walk just to get to the village.
Okay, let's just go to the village with all our stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Perhaps we can
Maybe.
gain some more information. Maybe they'd be more willing when they see how formidable our fellowship is here.
Hmm. I think we should. There's. It's like almost the middle of the night. I think there's not really anybody around. I think we should just find an inn until daylight, and then we'll ask questions and show our what we did.
Okay.
Well, at least we go back to the village for sure. Unless Oz, Kai, any reservations about that?
Uh, is it still in the middle of night?
It's early night, early evening, or early night.
It's about 9 p.m. Actually about 10. So we're getting really close to about midnight. A lot of people probably are about like 2 hours into their overall sleep.
Okay.
So if you go to the village, like we want to knock every house, like, or what?
No, I'm thinking we wait. We find the inn and wait until the morning.
Yeah, it's good either.
Why not just we rest now in our little hut and wait until the morning to bring all of our stuff? I
mean,
feel
we
like
could
it'd
do
be
that
kind of
too.
suspicious if we kind of stay awake all night just waiting in front of the tavern just with the
No,
dead.
no, 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 no. I'm saying we go to the inn and find a room and sleep through the night.
Do you not like my hut?
Ryzen is kind of partial to staying at an actual inn and not sleeping in leaves and twigs.
Kai, now that she has like wolf pelts, she kind of like raise the pelts in her hands and kind of just look at Ryzen. Here's your blankets.
Ryzen looks at the wolf pelts coated in blood from being taken off of the wolves' carcasses. It's a little disdain. He's like, and he's like, no, no, thank you.
Come on, Paladin boy. I feel like you don't get enough fresh air. You don't camp often, right?
I'm
should try it
thinking I'm
out.
gonna get. Raisin is thinking instead of fresh air, he's going to contract tetanus from the blood in the wolf pelt.
Let's weigh the consequences. If we were to wait till morning, what's the pros and cons of waiting before?
Well, everybody's sleeping now. Is my point. Like,
Yeah,
we can't show anybody anything right now.
Well, that's true. We could wake some individuals up if we wanted to. I guess here's my concern: if villagers have been taken somewhere, and there's the expectation that more villagers were going to be taken tonight, or something along those lines, perhaps the higher mind at work here might do something drastic. I don't know. Again, maybe it's best we just rest. I'm just weighing the options.
DM, do we know that this village has inn or not?
If the villages,
As an inn.
Yeah.
you know that there was a tavern, and the owner at one point said a tav inn, which I've never really heard before, but perhaps he's alluding to that this is some weird combination of the two.
Yeah.
I'm willing to rough it another night if you guys want, or we could go to the tavern. Either is fine with me.
So, how is
To
it?
the hut it is.
Yeah, the hut. Let's go.
Okay. Ryzen drops his arms, droops, and begins to walk towards the hut.
So the plan is
And
to
sighs.
wait till morning?
So we take a long rest.
We're going to wait till morning.
I think we're gonna sleep and wait for morning.
Okay.
While taking watch and shifts.
So we take long rest, right, at the hut near outside outside the forest, right?
Yeah, so we're
we all
gonna
rest
take a long rest
in the hut. Yeah.
in the hut. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so Ryzen, buddy. So you're sitting in the hut. Everybody's sort of getting acclimated to it, but you feel that tinge of dry air, and you hear sort of a rumbling boom in the sky before a torrent of water begins to pour onto the village and the surrounding area. Some of the trees break up the water for at least you guys, so you're not getting drenched while you're within your lodging space. But you know that this sudden onset of a storm pointing you somewhere.
I walk out of the lodging, and I do my detect
Divine sense.
divine sense. I do a divine sense.
Okay. You do your divine sense. Standing out from your lodging, sun the rain pelting your face, wetting your hair. There's a strike of lightning, and you feel a tingle down your spine as you see in the storm clouds above a serpent-like figure dancing across the sky before it goes dark.
Ryzen clutches his sword. kind of have a feeling who this is and what this is. He's noticeably agitated now and gets a little, just a tiny bit angry. And he not so much as yells, but he curses at the sky. I know you're there. Come down and fight me.
There's
I will
another
avenge my family.
there's another crackling boom as you call out into the night sky, almost seemingly following your anger.
I just continue to look into the sky.
You get one last glimpse of the sky. Another crack of lightning, illuminating the air as the serpent-like figure goes deeper and deeper into the forest.
Now I yell out, "Coward! Coward!" And I scoff, and I turn around and go back into the lodging.
Okay.
Or were we hearing him say this, perhaps? Or
Yeah. He was.
I was pretty loud.
okay,
Yeah.
so we're not. I was just wondering, dream sequence or
No dream sequence. The weather seemed to shift on a dime, and as it did, you saw your comrade in arms leave the immediate lodging and go out into the rain a bit and start to call out into the sky for who knows at what.
Ryzen. I'm sure. I think we all know what just uh, happened. What transpired there? Are you okay? Are we in danger?
Ryzen comes back in. He sets his sword down. Sits down on. Do we have anything to sit on? Like,
Wolf pelt.
sit down on something. I sit. The wolf pelts are laying down. I sit on a wolf pelt, and I let out a sigh, and I wring my hands and like I'm still agitated. And let me tell you the story of what happened when I was younger. He sits down and begins to tell them that while he was a boy, about 10 years old in his village, one day a storm just kicked up in his village, and from the skies there was an evil giant black dragon descended and began to destroy his village, and it ended up killing everyone in the village, including his family. But his uncle threw his body over top of him, saving him from most of the destruction. And from that day, after the village was destroyed, he was found by priests and was taken in by them and began on his path to becoming a paladin, like his uncle was. And that's the story. He's sworn vengeance, the oath of vengeance on this black dragon. So he tells you this story, and then he goes quiet and just stares off, still wringing his hands.
Thank you for sharing, Ryzen. Challenging history. And just now, why did you think of this just now? Were you reflecting back? The storm brought on these memories and thoughts.
The storm, and I used divine. I had a feeling, and then I used my ability Divine Sense, and I explained what it does. That it lets me detect evil in around me, and I sensed a familiar evil that I am. It made my hair stand up on the back of my neck, and I knew he was there in the
Dax's eyes are
sky.
getting wider.
Yeah.
Dax jumps to his feet. Just now, is this beast, this creature, evil creature from your past, this dragon, you sensed it here now?
Yes, in the sky, but he is gone now. And Ryzen sighs in relief.
Dax looks incredulous, standing there with the mouth agape. Looks at Kai, looks at Oz, looking at their reaction to it.
She saved a little bit of the bread that Dax gave her, and she like rips a piece and just give it to Ryzen.
Ryzen looks at her, gives another sigh, and gingerly takes the bread from her, says, "Thank you," under his breath, and begins to eat.
I nod and I continue eating.
And the Oz is still half asleep, like having the hard time to hold his head. Yeah.
Dax. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Oz.
Yeah, it's all.
I love it.
Dax slowly sits back down. We're not fighting this dragon.
Ryzen says, I don't think at our current level he would rip us to pieces.
Dragon meat kind of sounds good though.
This
Dax
vi-
kind of shakes his head. It's
this village should be
pleased to be with his companions.
this village should be protected by the Archmage, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
a connection?
it should be protected by the Archmage. It's just a coincidence, like the Archmage gone missing, and then the Arch start attacking.
Yeah. So are you also drawing a connection between this Ryzen's dragon and the Archmage, or?
Nah, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Well, Dax kind of leans back. I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep the remainder of the night, but I suppose I could take watch unless we should continue being concerned about what Ryzen has seen and sensed.
Ryzen says, I think he's gone now. And he sighs again, finishing his bread. He lays down on the wolf pelt and begins to close his eyes.
Okay, my heart is racing. I'm going to take watch now.
I pat Dax's shoulders and just also fall asleep.
Dax was a little more confident in his companion's relative comfort given our recent events.
Okay, so he takes first watch and we sleep a little bit.
All right, so we're getting our long rests in. Yeah?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right. So the rain persists for a while and stays and just becomes a dreary environment. But by the morning, the weather seems to pass and leaving a rather glistening field before you as you push up on the top of your lodging, allowing you to break free from its habitat. You you're now standing in the tree line. Nothing seems to have changed drastically outside of the weather shifting a bit and chance encounters, but
Ryzen
it
comes out
appears
of the tent and does one of those stretching with both arms thing. Beautiful day.
it appears the village has not been harmed in the middle of the night. As people start to leave their immediate homes, searching around for what could have happened the prior night, and if it's over.
Well, shall we go into the village, orc head and other things in tow, or do we want to keep that that information quiet? What do we think?
I think we just bring it.
We let our the results of the battle be known and try to gain more information.
Yeah, I believe so.
Do you guys want to like show it to like one person first? Because I'm thinking maybe we go to that orc that knows everything, and maybe show him first, and gauge his reaction first.
Sure.
Sure. Maybe we can find the village chief.
Okay, so we find him. Find what is his name? Gra or again something?
MacGruber.
Yeah, MacGruber. And we go to him and say hi and good morning. And I say we have something to show you, and I motioned for him to follow me, like to where like nobody else would see us, like beside a building or something. And I pull the head out of my bag
All right.
of the orc, and I show him.
So he's not going to follow you into a chance
Okay.
alley outside of the sight of everybody.
Okay.
He's
I
not
do a
getting murdered, okay?
Can I do a persuasion?
Yeah, you could do a persuasion.
Okay. Persuasion. 9. Damn. I'm not persuading him anywhere, I'm guessing. Okay.
Friends, do we trust anyone in this particular village? I know some individuals have been more forthcoming than others. I mean, if we trust MacGruber, we could just tell him what happened last night and see what happens, or we choose someone else
Okay,
to.
so where is MacGruber, like, that's MacGruber there, like the green one? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Is he like in sight of everybody? Or is he like, can everybody see him, like, from where he is standing?
Oh, yeah. Well, he is kind of as close to the center as he can for his little market. So he's kind of in sight of most people because he wants to observe everyone as they interact with the market stalls.
Okay, so I'm guessing we shouldn't show him the heads right here. No. So I assume everybody wants to just like tell him candidly what we've done.
Yeah, we can also observe, try to get a sense of what the word is in town as
Okay.
people are panicked or.
Okay. So it's kind of like spread out around the village. I'm gonna go down here and just like listen for like in this area.
Okay. Are you listening for something in particular?
Just like voices with conversations that are happening around me.
All right. So I'll have
Should I
you roll
roll?
a perception for me.
Yeah. 18.
Okay. There's few conversations striking place in the market. A few people asking MacGruber what the prices are for certain things, if he's going to have more of any particular item at that time. You do hear some softer conversations from the building to your left, where above the door it says so it seems. Yeah, because she is a seamstress.
Okay. Nice. Maybe we could get her to we've got 2 wolf pelts. Do you guys want to make like something out of that? Maybe we get her to stitch it up somehow, make some kind of cloth or something. Or unless you guys want to sell it. Just my 2 cents.
Dax is going to peruse the baked goods again.
MacGruber will find his way over.
Well, good morning. Good morning, MacGruber.
It is a morning.
It is a morning. It's a morning following a night. Quite a night last night, wouldn't you say?
Seemed like a normal night, like every other night.
I see.
Few storms, but it's
few
good for the
storms.
crops.
Few storms indeed, yes. Any interesting visitors during the night? I must admit, we were out of the village, as you indicated we should be, but we were nearby.
Aplikasi yang Hari start dulu.
Nobody
Hari
knew.
start abang.
Oh, dah bayar dah pakcik tu.
Nobody knew.
Pakcik.
Correct.
Oh, kata tak bayar lagi pakcik ikan.
Nobody knew if people visited or if there was activity.
Dah lah nanti.
No, sorry.
Tunggu lagi dah
There were no new
Right,
people.
right,
in the
right.
village.
I see. All right, Dax just kind of bides his time and wonders what his companions are up to.
Okay, so Rise, I'm assuming Kai came over here with the pelts, right? Or
Yeah, I'm standing right next to you now with the pelts out of my hands.
okay,
I'm
so
just standing there.
I motion her to follow me, and we come over here. Is the door open or is it closed?
The door is closed at the moment, but the
Oh.
shop does appear to be open.
Ryzen steps up, knocks on the door.
Uh,
Knock, knock, knock.
as you knock, you hear a little voice call back. Just wait 1 minute, please.
Ryzen waits.
Kai taps her foot.
And she goes to the door. And opens it. Hi, can I help you?
Hello, I was wondering, I see the name of your store is So It Seems. Do you do cloth work?
Yes.
Okay.
And repairs.
Might I inquire if you can make things out of pelts?
Of course.
I wiggle the pelts in my hand while there's still like dry blood a little bit on the edges.
We should have cleaned them up.
Well, it makes the point, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
We've got these pelts here. Can you do anything with those?
What would you like? A cloak?
What do you want to do with them, Kai? I was thinking, how big are these pelts, though? Like,
They're
Giant
pretty big.
or-
Yeah, because they
Okay.
came off of large creatures.
okay. I was thinking of something. I was thinking, maybe I take one of the pelts and Kai can use it for her other one. I was thinking maybe, can you do something with this pelt and my armor to make it not as loud, like to like insulate it, like, you know?
I'm not really an armor smith, but I can give it my best shot.
Let's
But I would
see what
need
you
your
can do.
armor. I would need your
I
armor.
I step into the. I'm assuming. I ask? Can I
Yeah.
step in?
She lets you in and
Okay, I step in
goes over
here.
to her chair in the
I
corner.
set my sword down, my swords and my weapons down next on the wall, like up against the wall, and I
Mhm.
begin to take off my armor.
Okay.
And I take it off and I hand it to her.
Okay. She looks it over and she drags her thumb across a stain on it, but then starts to scratch it with her thumb, realizing that it's. But she stops after realizing that it's some sort of blood that's made its way onto your armor.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. How soon do you need it by?
Um, how I'm just asking about how long do you think it would take?
Um, I think it would depend on a few things. If I push it up in my priority list, I could get it done by tomorrow.
I set down 3 gold on the counter.
Well,
Is there any way you can get it done sooner than that?
that's if it was up on my priority list. You have a lot of wolf, and I have to tan all of it, and then
Okay,
I
I
have
set
to
down
find.
7 more gold.
I guess I can help. I can hire some hands, and um, by the end of the night.
That would be lovely. And I walk out. And then I go to walk out the door and I say, "Wait, do you perchance I'm in like basically my underwear. Do you have anything that I could wear now?" And I put down 1 more gold.
She looks at your size and she says, I was making a gown, a nightgown. Would that work for you?"
Kai puts a thumbs up.
I, I'm looking at Kai and I'm just like, my eyes are like those, like like straight lines like that. And I begrudgingly put my hand out and take the gown.
Perfect. All right. Oz.
I put it on and I walk out the door.
Oz. What are we doing?
I'm gonna go here and then talk to the bar lady.
Yep.
Hey. Oh, okay. Alright. Hello there. We want to loot this stuff. And then I show her the wolf head.
She looks at the wolf head and she grows a little white in the face and she quickly pushes it back into your satchel, closing the top of it, and then she grabs the strap of the satchel and then starts to pull you into the back. Are you going to resist or are you going to follow her?
I'm gonna follow.
Oh, okay.
Bring me.
Ryzen, just stepping outside the door, looks around, gets a feeling that maybe maybe Oz is doing something. It's the feeling that Oz is doing something that maybe he shouldn't be doing right now, since we agreed not.
Well,
to chill.
Oz has run away, so this is happening simultaneously
Yeah,
while
yeah, no,
you
no.
are essentially
Yep.
getting your gown on. So Oz is
So
sort of snuck away.
I just like stop like a second, just think that, and then I go back putting on my gown. That's it.
Okay, so she pulls you in the back, Oz, and she and then as soon as she gets to the back, the uh, Mr. Rubio Braid, who's back there, looks at the two of you curiously before she opens up the satchel, revealing that the head, and she says, "That's one of them. I'm almost certain that's one of them." And she looks to Oz and she says, "What happened? What did you do?"
First question, what do you mean one of them?
They look between each other and she sighs and she says, Before I answer that, was there an orc with them?"
Yes.
"And what of the orc?"
Is it gray color? A big size gray?
You did what with the orc?"
How about hold on? I'm gonna get my friend.
No. No, you need to tell us.
My friend can tell you also.
No, you were there. Obviously, you have a wolf head. Just look. We're not meaning to start any trouble, and we just need to know, just in case. We know more about the situation than you do. We just need the details.
After putting on his gown, Ryzen starts to walk this way, around.
Alright. Me and my companion killed that 4 wolves and 1 ox.
They look between each other.
My friend got the orc heads. I did not carry one on me. I just carry the 1 wolf head. So if you want to see the ox one, you have to find my friends.
Oh my god! And as she covers her mouth, she begins to cry, and she wraps her arms around you, sobbing terribly. And the dwarf, who also has a look of surprise on his face, he says, so you killed them all? They're gone?"
It's not me kill of all my friends, but yeah.
Oh my god!
Since like you know what happened right now, later I want you guys explain to us what really going to happen in this village.
While he's doing that, Ryzen is walking through the village here, and he's got the orc's head in his hand, just walking gingerly through the village.
With his nightgown.
In his nightgown with an orc head in his hand, just walking around gingerly.
Yeah, and as the news of Oz is sinking in, and the news of Raisin is sinking in with the groups in the market, Dax, what are you doing?
I was not aware that my companions were making significant progress. Villagers. I was going to talk to the horse about some things, but might not be necessary now.
I mean, you can still do it, like, if you want.
I was casting Speak with Animals as a ritual, and as soon as I finished that up, I was going to offer good morning to the horse. Maybe both of them, but maybe first the horse that's near me.
One of the horses comes up, gulping the bit of water, and looks at you as you're talking to it, and they have very stoic, sort of unamused expressions as one looks to the other and says, "Hey Frank, this one's talking to us." And they both look in your direction as you speak.
So Frank, yes, and you are
Tim.
Tim?
Tim.
Tim, a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I don't want to keep you from your morning drink here, but just had a quick question for you. You've been in this village a long time? As long as
My
you
whole
can remember.
life.
The whole life. Last night we noticed some wolves and an orc seemingly up to no good in the village. Is that something that you know occurs regularly? And for how long?
Hey Frank, what's he talking about?
Oh, are you kept in the stables at night?
No, we're out here, but what what are those things you're talking about?
The angry-looking dog creatures. I kind of make a motion with my hands indicating how big the wolf would have been. They always seem to come only at night.
Yep, they were here last night.
Last night, have they been coming for a long time? Do you remember?
Um, that's a good question. Frank, gonna have to ask you on that one. And Frank looks up. Now he's got a bit of grass in his mouth, and he says, "Um, buddy, uh, you know, maybe I don't know, a couple suns up, suns down. You know."
I nod. I hear you. I hear you. Okay, and one last question for me then. We've been looking for a sheep. I know many people have been looking for a sheep. Are you privy to a sheep around this area? Maybe even recently, or yesterday, or any time?
Hey,
Yeah.
Tim. Hey, Tim. What's a sheep? And Tim looks to you. He says, "Yeah, what are you talking about?"
Perhaps this sound would ring a bell. Bah! A creature that goes bah!
Oh, yeah. By the shop with the little one inside.
Oh, and you, I point in a couple different directions. This direction, maybe pointing to the north.
You see his back leg sort of kick back a bit
Okay.
and gestures to the north.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Tim. Thank you, Frank. I noticed Kai nearby. Kai, any questions for our horse friends here?
I kind of slightly ignored that question because I was just so in awe that Dax can also talk to animals. You could talk to animals too? I'm not the only one?
Indeed, a little bow.
Were you abandoned in the forest too and you got to learn their language?
My history's a little different, but kindred spirits. It seems we are. It seems.
She just-
Go ahead.
Oh, I just said she just placed her hands like on her cheeks and just look at you with like, wow.
With like sparkles in her eyes.
Yeah.
So I turn back to the horses. Tim, Frank, thank you very much. I wish you a good day and a good life. And I turn back to Kai. Kai, it seemed they indicated that the sheep hangs out in the abode just to the north here. They said there's a little one also that hangs out there. I indicate to the north where the hoof had been pointing. Maybe the seamstress's place. I assume that's what that name means.
It might be her. I was just in that store with Ryzen, and I will say she was little.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I think I'll make my way up there. Perhaps we can gather our friends and we see what they're up to as well.
Ryzen just walking around this place, swinging the head up, like doing like a swing, like swinging the head, just walking around.
As the two of you have been engaging with horses and bonds over speaking with the horses and various critters, you hear uproars from market as people cheer cheer this gowned paladin on. But then there's an uproar from the tavern
I'm just-
as
I'm just thinking about a stoic paladin, all his armor off in a gown, with a little grandma hat on.
yeah. And then there's an uproar from the tavern as the dwarf comes out bellowing that that Oz here has killed the group of bandits that have been sort of plaguing their town, that they're now all free from this from the banditry, and then in the market they seem to argue back as MacGruber shouts back to the tavern and says, "No, look, this one has taken the head of Goose. Like, he is the one that should be, that we should idolize. We should make a statue of him."
Yeah, Ryzen goes over to hearing this, and he's like, "No, it was really a group effort. Me and my friends killed the group of bandits. We all played a part."
You see a lot of the field hands making their way in as more and more people begin to aggregate into this town, into this village, and they're all finding out the news, and ale is being spilt everywhere. Everyone's glasses being filled to the top as they begin to celebrate. A lot of people, you can see that there was sort of hardships as it strikes some particularly strong as they wail out with their tears and their emotions that they've sort of been keeping back. But then there's others that have just narrowly escaped by, and they still have everyone in their family. So so they feel blessed that something has been done. And as they're all sort of celebrating, we have Dax and Kai, who you guys are making to the seamstress shop as everyone's sort of distracted by the joy.
Are we kind of aware of that there is a commotion and have a sense of what's going on, or do we say-
Yeah, because you're seeing like the heads being displayed up in the air. It's getting thrown into the air, and people are like lobbing it up. It's pretty brutal, but everybody is so
Just squirting blood all over the place.
but everybody is just engrossed into these crazy emotions.
So Dax kind of nods, kind of praising the situation. Realizes, I guess our exploits are becoming known. That's a good thing. But he's kind of got a focus now to at least try to figure out what's up with this sheep. Maybe our quest is ended, but maybe not. So is this a back door I'm seeing here? Is it open or? Yeah,
back door. And are you going to just make your way in, or?
I'll make my way in, but I'll call out and say, hello, is anyone here?
And as you call in, a pile of wool begins to move as a sheep leaves the comfort of their space.
Oh my goodness! Pardon me. Speak with animals still active? 10 minutes.
Yes, it is.
All right. Oh, my goodness! Hello. Be at ease. I mean you no harm. Can you understand me?
Wait, you are speaking sheep without the scroll.
Yes, I have the ability. I can speak with animals. I spoke with some horses just a moment ago, and now I am speaking with you.
Thanks to heavens, thank the Arcane College, they sent someone competent to look out for me.
I knew it.
This. Please tell me you are looking for a Shine Bright.
My goodness, the name Shinebright. Yes, that is. I know that's the name of the local mage. We have been interested in finding this Shinebright. You know of Shinebright?
Local mage. That's what they've belittled me to. I'm an archmage. Yeah, every transmutation wizard is under my learnings. Oh my god.
Well, Mr. Shinebright. Oh, I meant no disrespect, but I must say I'm sure not only myself but my companions will also be overjoyed to know you're here. Many people, I believe, have been looking for you. Thought you were on vacation. What's been happening here?
Vacation.
Please.
Vacation, is that what those simpletons put it to? Oh my god, please tell me you have taken care of it.
Please, can you elaborate? Taking care of what?
I was meant to have a particular apprentice, but I found out that the person that was in my study was anything but. While he wore that guise, he had much crueler intentions. I was working on a wand, one that pure transmutation, that didn't have the boundaries of waiting an hour, that had the consciousness of all of it associated with it. It was permanent. It worked on objects, it worked on creatures, it worked on everything. And it was turned against me.
Your apprentice was the perpetrator that turned this powerful item on you.
Noak. My apprentice, yes.
No, that is a new name to me. First I've heard of it.
He assumed power, and his lackeys have been in my study, if one way of putting it. Bringing villagers in and turning them into animals. They're trying to perfect something. And I know that whatever my wand was is just the catalyst for it.
I see. How long ago did this turn of fates transpire? How long have you been a sheep?
Heavens if I know. I'm losing my mind. I feel myself becoming more and more like a sheep as time goes on. Eventually my mind will just degrade into the putty that a sheep's mind is.
This is the irreversible? This is the result of this wand that it cannot be changed to your...
Well, it cannot be changed, at least. If you have the wand, you can change me back to any humanoid form. It does not matter, as long as I have some thumbs or something to work with.
I see. I can tell you now. I would like you to meet my companions. We can do our best to help you. I believe we will. We have already had a run-in with these brigands that may have been looking for you. In fact, just last night, we battled a group, including an orc by the name of Goose, just near the forest, and we were victorious. The village seems very pleased with this, but it seems like there's more afoot here. Would you be willing to stay with myself and our companions until we figure all of this out?
The only thing I need some competent caster. Someone that at least has the smallest monochrome of an idea. They need to take my wand and use it on me. But it wasn't perfect. I didn't perfect the wand. There is a chance that it won't work and it'll just backfire on the person that's using it.
I'd just like to say that Ryzen and some of the villagers are now basically playing volleyball with the orc's head in the square.
It's a new
Continue.
holiday.
He's starting the rise of volleyball. I love it. All right. And then they're doing hacky sack in the tavern.
It's a big,
Cat-
the big wolf's head.
All right.
No.
So the sheep stamps his feet and he says, "Would you be up to that last task? I will guide you if I must, but it is deep within the forest. My lab is... It must be protected by a few things at this point, but... I need you to turn me back."
We should consult with the rest of our group. We've been very effective so far. I will say that it seems like your interests certainly align with ours. Ours wanting to make this village safer. It sounds like this Noak is quite a villain. I think we're definitely on the same page.
He's definitely a villain, but... I believe there's something more to it.
DM, do I hear this conversation? Like, I'm not inside, but I'm kind of like outside the door-ish.
Do
he-
you have your speak with animals?
Activated right now, no. But with my backstory, can I like kind of get a gist?
You
Or-
can sense so you can sense the overall like duress of the situation, as well as you've sort of picked up on
The bars and
you you've sort of picked up on Dak's mannerisms a bit, and you can tell that there is something sort of awry with the sheep, that there might be more to it, as they're having more of a it seems like they're having this discussion back and forth, but the exact details of what they're sort of unveiling to each other are still amiss, unless Dax is actively sort of translating it to you.
Dax notices Kai there, right? Just outside, next to him.
Mhm.
I would hope. So, definitely. In fact, Dax would say, "Here is one of my companions. This is Kai, also very, very familiar with the forest and lands, and very powerful. We also have two other companions. In a moment, I'm going to lose temporarily, mind you, lose my ability to speak with you, but after a short period of time, I could regain the ability. So we should be able to continue communicating. But I would like to relate to my friend Kai everything that we've discussed."
Yes. And the Grand Mage that they sent for me. Who is it?
The Grand Mage, I apologize. Maybe one of my peers knows more, but it is not I. It is not I. A vision brought me to this town, and I'm glad it did. But you'll have to meet the rest of our fellowship.
I see. A divination mage. Interesting. All right, and with that, the communication between the two of you fades, and the sheep will follow suit.
Okay. So Kai, we should find a place to reconnoiter with our companions. I don't know if in the middle of the festivities is the best location.
I agree. I'm not sure where Oz is, but I could definitely get Rise out of his little fun in the main square.
Actually, perhaps I know Shinebright here is going to follow us, but perhaps it's best we just stay here at the seamstress's place. It seems to be relatively safe.
Oh, is this sheep shine bright? Hello,
This
sir.
is. Oh, this is, yes.
Yeah, you have to tell her what transpired.
Yes, this is Shinebright, and I try and paraphrase what happened with the conversation.
When you say hello, he does stamp his hoof into the ground.
I slowly reach my hand out so I could pet his wool.
You get a bit of an agitated ba. Ba!
I scratch his ear.
Ba.
Slightly less irritated.
Okay. While Dax is paraphrasing what happened, you say a name, and you also see like a flinch and like a hateful look in Kai's eyes.
Was it when I mentioned Noak by chance?
Don't even talk about that name.
I could not help but notice when I mentioned Noak, a shadow fell across your face. Are you aware of this Noak, this apprentice to Shinebright?
He was an apprentice?
That's what Shinebright said.
When I was younger, let's say I was kidnapped by some gray orcs, and I was there for a ceremony, I believe. I think they were using me for a sacrifice. I was real young, and Noak, he was there. I don't know what he was saying. He was saying some words, but it looked like he was the main leader for this group.
God. Seems
It was not a
fate-
good memory.
Fate has transpired to bring us here. Then many connecting pieces. I'm sorry to hear that, but perhaps we can see justice done.
Yeah, I hope so. And I look at the sheep and just say, "What? He was your apprentice? What did you do wrong?"
There is a sort of stoic sort of arrogance that just sort of washes over his face. Something you would expect out of a noble when they're very like annoyed with something. You see similar traits with the sheep's face, but not to the same extent as a human's. But they look to the side, and they are disconnected from your question.
Kai just huffs.
Sorry, go ahead, Kai.
Oh no, I'm done.
Perhaps you can round up our companions. I'll begin recasting my ability to speak with Shinebright, and we can decide our next course of action.
Where do you want to meet? Just here?
I think that's best if the seamstress is amenable to it, and I would kind of look around it. Do I get a sense that the seamstress has been privy to the exchange to some extent?
Yes, she is fine with the exchange.
Okay.
I suppose maybe we move into the space, a little more room.
While he was doing that, I'm gonna go out and find our friends. I just scream out, "Resin! Oz! Meet me at the seamstress! Resin! Oz!" And just like that.
Ryzen, hearing this, stops playing volleyball and nods to the orc that's still playing volleyball, and he starts to walk in the direction of the voice and comes over and meets with
Oz
Kai.
hear this the voice. As soon he's ran out, and then he fall on the stair, and then get up, and then he's coming.
Perfect. All right. Yeah. And Oz, you are even though as you're making your way out of the tavern, you do get a few pouts from the people within the tavern, but they know to continue to celebrate in your name and in your honor. and let you go without without filling you with too many drinks while you're in there.
Good.
Alright.
Everyone's here. Let's go to a sheep. Dax found Dax found the sheep.
Ryzen hears this like questioning, like, what? That's what he says, like, what? In his nightgown. It's like, what?
His bloodied nightgown.
Yeah, but they was playing volleyball. It's all covered in blood now.
I pat both Oz and Ryzen's shoulders and just move my head towards the store and then walk over.
I, not knowing what she meant by that, Ryzen continues after her and follows her inside.
Oz feel a bit nervous, but he going follow.
Welcome back, friends. Thank you for being here so quickly. There is certainly a new development, I would say. Our victory last night definitely proved a boon for the village. They're all celebrating. It's wonderful, but we may have a larger concern on hand. Everyone, please meet Mr. Shinebright, the Archmage. And at this point, have I finished Speak with Animals? Can we say as a ritual again?
Yeah.
Ryzen comes up to the sheep and gets down on like in a crouching position, looks it in the eyes, and just stares at it.
The sheep standing on the table looks down to you and bows before then turning its attention to Oz, and their attention seems focused on Oz in particular.
Ryzen brings his hand up and slowly brings it forward to poke the sheep with his finger. And he slowly pokes the sheep once or twice.
Do you have it? I'll say you have your Speak with Animals, so you'll hear what he says. If you touch me again, I will take your life from you.
Ryzen hearing the words jumps back, almost falls on his butt, comes back and steps back over here
I laugh.
with like a
Hysterically.
dumbfounded look.
Yes. Archmage Shinebright, please be at ease. We're curious. We've heard a rumor of your presence and have been looking for you, and I think we're going to be able to help you. I did notice you have a particularly keen interest in our companion Oz. Do you believe that Oz is the one, the Grand Mage you mentioned? Sent for?
I think that said in a common word, right, to the sheep. This time, right? Is it DM?
Yeah, definitely indicate that this is the local Archmage Shinebright.
Yeah.
The sheep itself. Anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, when the duck said talk to the sheep, the duck said in the common language, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well, I'm assuming he used his animal thing, and we can all hear him now.
okay.
Oh,
And
can everyone else now hear as well, or is it just everyone speaking through Dax?
Are we speaking through Dax?
I mean,
I'll for the sake of convenience. Well, actually, Dax, how would you like to approach it? Would you like it where everyone sort of engaged with this, or would you prefer to be the medium between the two?
Would just do work my best as translate the best I can directly, so they can communicate directly, if possible, with the Archmage. Yep.
I'm actually gonna secretly also use Speak with Animals too.
Okay.
So yeah.
at the same time, I say, what do you mean happen to the Archmage? What do you mean I do this?
Would you tell the mage, the Grand Mage, that I am glad that the communication has gotten to him and that he is here to resolve these issues. That his divination has encouraged others to aid his trail, but I believe he will be the one to change me back. Could you relay this to that mage?
Is he speaking to Dax or is he speaking
Yeah,
to?
he's speaking to Dax. He's
Oh.
like speaking like almost like through you in that
Okay.
sense.
Yep.
So,
Yep. So Oz, I mean, go ahead. You can. Dax
Sorry.
would relay exactly what was said.
um, what do you mean? I just said apprentice. I'm supposed to be your apprentice.
Nonsense. I sense everything about you, and I know for certain you are the mage that the rest of the group has sent for me. You cannot fool me. Don't humble yourself.
Uh, um, so what's really happened here actually?
I appreciate the innocence in all of this, but the situation is that there was someone imitating my apprentice, a Noke. His intentions are unclear, but he is using my magic as a catalyst for his creations. I think you've encountered some of them, at least as you've described. I need a mage to turn me back so that I can reverse the changes that he's been making throughout the land. You see, there is an issue with this. If he persists, imagine any inanimate object becomes a creature. It would greatly offset the land.
I certainly can try, but how? I don't know any spell except the first level spell.
I appreciate your humor in all of this. But you were sent here for a reason, and you've rallied your troops. I have the fullest confidence in what you will do. I need you to take my wand, and when you point it at me, think to yourself any humanoid form, whether it be a human, whether it be looking like yourself, anything of the sort, and direct the magic the best you can.
Dax would relate. Oh, go ahead, Oz. Go ahead.
Sir, with all due respect, I'm just a humble mage, and this my companion. It just happened at the same time, at the same time to the same place. But I can help you with the transform you back to the human. But can you show me where the stuff is?
Of course, I will show you where it is. I will compensate you with knowledge that I was on the brink of discovering. Whatever it takes, but
A spell?
I'm sure your years in the college will do you well.
Oh yeah, college, yeah. Scared.
Okay. Ryzen hearing this conversation, is like nodding, like and about how long? What time is it now? It was 9 when we came in here.
Yeah, so
About how long passed?
It's been say about an hour or two. It's still the early morning as you guys are within this town.
Okay.
Yeah. Not a lot of time has transpired at the moment.
Okay. So I suggest before we venture to this house, Mr. Shinebites' house. I'm talking through Dax to the sheep. Your house. I'm assuming that's where he is.
He should be. He should be.
Okay, so I'm formulating a point. Like, I'm not sure. I'm thinking we should be more prepared than we were for the orc. So we should find places to buy potions and things like that. And noting, noting my appearance, I don't have my armor at the moment. If we could maybe wait for a while. I kind of
Wait.
don't want to be fighting in this nightgown.
I think this is a good look on you, Rise. Think of it as training.
Horizon sighs, his head down.
I look
I'm
at
in-
the sheep real
I'm in a
quick.
damn moo.
I look at the sheep and say, "So, magician sheep, what can you tell us about your fake apprentice? Do you know anything about him?"
Oh, magician. Oh, archmage.
Hmm.
I've had time to think about him, but there's still some parts that I just don't quite understand. I used to catch him speaking into the open air during a storm. I didn't understand who or what he was addressing. There was a name that came out of it, and I never led me to anything. Rasara.
Ryzen's ears perked up at the sound of the name Rosara. Who you know of Rosara? Talking to the sheep.
No, I know some people only know it by name. And whatever it is communicates in a tongue. It says like a slithering voice. It's very hard to understand.
Ryzen, knowing who this Rasara is, mentions to the group, Rasara, the Black Dragon. And he says, Rasara is the name of the Black Dragon whom I've sworn vengeance that we almost met last night.
So this Noke, who has connections to Kai, is communing, perhaps following the Black Dragon, this Rosara, who you have a terrible history with. This is, I must say, it's astounding.
Yes. Ryzen, yes. This is quite a coincidence.
Sounds like something big's gonna happen.
Well, with that one being a catalyst, it's hard to say. It's hard to imagine what isn't on the table.
Hmm.
I would say my own personal reasons for being here. Again, my spirit totem, my guide, indicated that nature was shifting, and it seems that this wand, this great transmutation magic, could have a devastating impact on everything and everyone. But ultimate disruptor to nature as it should be. I don't, my friends, I'm inspired to take immediate action, not just for the Archmage's sake, but for all of ours and for these peoples and beyond. I am ready. I'm ready to go.
As soon you get your
As
armor back,
Ryzen's like, he's like, remember guys, I'm in a moo. I would prefer to have my armor back before we confront this, whatever his name is.
Indeed. I'm just worried this Noke, what could transpire now that the henchman and the Goose the Orc has not returned after a single night. I wonder if we should recover your armor now and perhaps because it is early in the day, we set out at once. Down less, what, were you trying to make a cloak, was it?
I was trying to make it a little more quiet, so I didn't
Oh, yeah, sure.
like insulate it, like so I don't like go clang, clang, clang all over the place. But I poke my head in and see I ask her the state of my armor as of now. Just to check to see what the state is.
Yeah, she sort of scratches her head and as she's looking at all the sort of dismantled pieces of it, she
Hmm.
says, "Well, in honesty, I'm still in the drafting stage of all this."
Okay. I ask her, "Is you said you weren't an armorer? Is there perchance an armorer in this city or in this town
In the
where
village,
I
no.
might procure a workable set of armor until mine is finished?"
You have to understand, outsider. This place is very far from everything. There's not really a threat that comes through here. We don't even have guards. We have no need for a blacksmith, or
Hmm.
rather, an armor smith.
Hmm. Okay. And I I say okay, and then what are you guys gonna do right this second? Because my armor is in pieces, so I'm gonna try and look around the town and see if I can get something workable.
I talked to the Archmage sheep.
Mhm.
Uh, do you know if there's any stores here that sell potions? I feel like we need some if we're gonna go on this path.
Herb, from the alchemist shop. He sells potions, if you want to call them those, but it'll be a gamble if they work.
Hmm. Do you have any potions back at your place that we can borrow?
Well, he's remember the bad guy is stationed there,
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
so I don't think we can go in there without their fight being ensued.
So, in any secret caches or anything else you can tell us, Archmage Shinebright, this battle ahead is going to require everything we've got and more.
Have any of your casters been duelists? Do they know how to counterspell?
Uh,
Do you have
and,
counterspell, Oz?
the counter spell? No.
Well, this might get sticky then. My advice is, if there is a means to take away the wand, you will at least hinder his progress. Perhaps he won't be able to turn one of you into a sheep.
Bah.
Okay, Ryzen says, I'm going to go maybe look around and ask around if I can get something serviceable before we rush in there. And he walks out the door. And he goes makes his way over here to,
I
the
will
orc over there.
say that there are apes that patrol around the outside of the tree that my laboratory is in. They're not very wise or perceptive of things, so perhaps you can sneak your way into all of it.
Archmage, I don't suppose your personal spell book or any other effects are outside of the tower, outside of your home?
No, he caught me in quite an indecent moment. I didn't have much time to prepare my spellbook outside of it. I guess if you went to my college, Oz, was it? Can you teleport?
Yeah. What?
Can you teleport?
No. As I said, sir, I only have level 1 spell, sir. I am supposed to be your
You're-
apprentice.
You're level 5, by the way.
Yeah. I only learned the level 1 spell.
I love it. That is
Okay.
such a cool character. I've never, ever had a wizard do that. That's awesome.
I chime in. Well, Oz is really good at doing fire missiles.
Magic missiles.
The magic missile,
Magic
ma'am.
missile.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see. Is there anything else I could assist you with? Outside of don't set fire to my laboratory, that's really all I can say. There's so much paper, so much research in there. That's all.
Promises.
We need to get that wand. I mean, we'll try to take the best care of everything, but if the wand is not procured and taken away from this Noke, then who knows? All might be lost. Once we get the wand, we can find a way to change you back, and our path seems clear.
Yep.
It's just a mystery as to what else he did while I was gone. He didn't have the highest grasp of the arcane, but who knows? Maybe he found a loose scroll or something.
Did you know if he was interested in ceremonies that involve sacrifices?
That might have something to do with the next step.
Next step?
Well, I imagine some form of occultism is going to follow that wand. Whatever they're planning to summon with it, or create with it, I can't be certain, but I'm sure he's venturing into the depths of something nefarious.
It seems to me we have not a moment to lose. If he realizes there's an opposing force, not just the Archmage turned sheep, but competent adventurers who might cause issues with his plans, perhaps Snoke would become desperate. I just worry that we need to move quickly.
Ryzen is asking this, what's his name? The orc? The green orc?
McRubber.
McRuber. He comes over to him with like gold in his hand, like clinking, like throwing it up, like catching in his hand, like a bunch of gold. And he goes over to McGruber and might I ask, you are a procurer of objects and things. You seem to be running this place. Is there anywhere that I can get armor in this town? Can you help me?
He smirks for a moment, and he says, "So, armor. I think I could put a few things together."
He hands him 10 gold.
Well, he comes, he leaves you for a moment and comes back with some field hands, and it looks like they have assortments of wood in their hands, and as well as wrappings of rope and twine and all of the sort, as they begin to fix barrels to your body.
Awesome.
Awesome.
You didn't
Awesome. I'm gonna
specify, mate.
moo it with barrel armor. Nice. Okay.
With barrel armor.
That's
What-
pretty healthy stuff.
What would I even? What would my DC even be with barrel armor?
Best paladin ever.
That
And
one
then to
as-
top it all off, they take a bucket and they carve like a crescent out of it. So there's like the face part of it. So you have like the bucket helmet. All right.
No, in all seriousness, what would that bring my armor class
Yep,
to?
yep.
It's at 19.
So for this, it'll bring your this probably is closer. It'll bring your you'll bring your AC to 14.
Oh, oh, not good.
Welcome
Medium
to the
armor.
club.
It'll be
Yeah,
considered
medium armor.
medium armor.
You
Okay.
can add your dex to it, Ryzen.
Oh, how do I?
Yeah, so if you wear medium armor, you add your dexterity modifier to a maximum of +2, based
Okay,
on
so
the
it'd
armor
be
type.
15.
So
15, because my dex modifier is only 1.
yeah, so 15.
Okay.
When Kaldax sees it, he'd be like, a man of nature. I like it. I like it. Natural material.
Rise. Rise is like under his breath. I shouldn't have took off my armor. What was I
Perfect.
thinking?
You'll be stealthy. No worries.
Oh yeah, it's considered medium armor.
Yep.
I'm stealthier.
Yeah,
Okay.
you are.
Maybe
you no longer
that's,
have disadvantage.
Okay. Cool.
Okay,
It's
awesome.
only 4 points lower. I don't know.
You'll be fine. You're fine. What? A mage? You think mages care about your AC?
Okay. I saunter back over to the group in my barrel armor and say, "Well, this is me now."
Good druid. I'm impressed.
I stick out 2 thumbs up.
Rise in size again.
Okay, so
Let's go.
and then you're grabbing health potions, right?
Yeah, we're grabbing health potions.
Um,
many as we can
I
take.
assume we're gonna head to the alchemist.
Yeah, so just to speed it along here, so each one of you, he's going to give you a 3 health potions of greater healing.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
nice.
Greater healing.
Is it does it come under health potion or greater health potion?
So greater health potion, potion of greater healing is a 44 plus 4.
Okay, so it would be potion with a P. I'm just going through the list and gonna add it like that.
So if we were in battle, would you want us to use an action if we needed to drink one down?
Yeah, so for this, I'll let you guys use it as a bonus action. I kind of like the flow of being able to sacrifice your bonus action for it, so you can still do cool things with your action. So
Nice. Okay, awesome.
plus, I think you'll need it.
uh,
Yeah, getting
Cool.
3 each. That's nice. Yeah.
okay.
Would that cost us some gold as well? Should we subtract some gold?
Nope. They're giving it to you on behalf of the town as a thank you for freeing them. So
Nice.
Ooh.
All I see on the list is potion of healing.
Keep track of the numbers. We can manually go 44 plus 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So I have 3 of those. Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
I look at Oz real quick. Do you still have the wolf head with you?
No, because people at the tavern
Yeah,
play like a ball.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the tavern people are currently using it for hacky sack.
Alright, because I was thinking if we had that, I still have some of the wolf pelt. It would have been cool to use it as a camouflage.
I mean,
One
you
of
could go
us-
back to the tavern and get it. I mean,
I would
I
imagine
don't
it's
know
like
what-
beaten up now that people
I don't know
probably
what the
kicked
state
it.
of it is, but you could try.
Si Lala duduk kat kau. Kalau ni Kiki je. Lala ni duduk atas.
I think we're good. I feel like we should leave soon. I feel like if we wait any longer, it would be pretty bad.
Okay. Ryzen agrees.
The day is young. My friends, let's take care of business.
Alright.
The return, nature awaits. The balance of nature.
Oz bow to the ship and then he start going out.
And periodically during the journey, so if we have a quick breather every time we need to recommunicate with our sheep friend, I would need to speak with animals. It would take 10 minutes to prepare that as a ritual.
Okay.
Is the
It
sheep
is-
I
coming
mean,
with
I
us?
assume we don't need to speak to him until we get closer.
Assume so. And the sheep was going to guide us. I think that was the
Yeah,
Yep.
we're following the sheep.
okay.
Okay.
What's going on? Okay. Sorry, just switching through these. on?
DM, a
You
question.
good?
Question, DM.
Yep.
How is it long rest? Fill the spell slot.
If you're fully, you should have all your spells right now
Yeah.
since we took a long rest.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So long rests recover everything. If you have exhaustion though, so say you were like overheating or not eating or not sleeping or something like that, long rest only removes one exhaustion level. But for everything else, it just totally gives you everything back. So
Okay.
I have a question. I have some of this tea or whatever in my water skin. Is that bonus permanent or is it temporary?
it's a temporary thing. So it'll last you an
Okay.
hour.
Okay, so I'll wait until we actually get there. And maybe we might want to brew some tea maybe before we head out.
So we're gonna charm the apprentice.
Yeah, for a little charisma. 'Cause our parting celebration actually drink some tea that we were so concerned about.
I have mine in my water skin. I'm gonna save that until we actually get to the place, and then I'll drink it.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming it's gonna take us a little bit to get there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep, it will take quite a bit to get there, but
Yeah. So I'm just gonna save mine. If you guys want to drink yours now or save it,
Oh, I guess I'll wait.
I'll wait as well.
okay. Ryzen holds up the teapot, pours some of the water in there, mixes some of the tea, and motions to Oz. Maybe he could heat this up.
You want me to heat up?
Do we need to heat it up in order for it to?
no, because you
be good?
so you brewed it in the heat. It's sat for a while, so it's probably pretty potent at the moment.
Okay. So
You could drink it cold for sure. Just
Do
like
you
I
guys
drink
wanna-
my
do you guys have water skins or anything to hold it in?
I have a water skin.
Okay, I pour some into her water skin.
I nodded,
Anybody
thank
else?
you.
Anybody else?
If you don't mind, I'll take a swig of yours a little later, if you don't mind.
Okay, that should be fine. How big is the water skin? Like, how much does it hold? Like,
So water skins, I believe, hold about a day's worth of water.
okay, so there would be enough for me and him to
Yeah,
get bonuses from the same one.
correct. Yep.
Okay, so
Because normal like
do
things of
that.
tea, a normal thing of tea would be like a small cup versus like a water skin, which would be, I think a water skin carries about like half a gallon or something like that of water.
Okay,
Mm.
okay.
Suppose we would have checked in with Shinebright as well to see how long our journey is going to be to get to his place.
He says, "Well, usually I teleport to the village.
Mm,
It's rare that I would take it by foot. I imagine it'd be a few hours before we reached it."
Okay.
mm.
Not too bad. Less than
Pat
a
the
day.
sheep's
assuming it-
head.
I'm assuming that it'll be nightfall by the time we get there.
Be
Yesterday?
like, you get there by about mid to late afternoon, so
Oh, okay.
that
Okay,
3,
we
4
good.
o'clock time.
Okay.
Okay.
While we're walking there, so I know I have like 64 wolf claws,
Mhm.
and they're arrowheads. Well, I could use them as arrowheads, right?
Do you
Or
have
can I-
tinkering?
Do I have what?
Tinkering? Like to make it into arrows.
Oh,
you-
I don't. Is that a skill? Because I don't think
Yeah,
so.
it's a skill.
Oh.
I don't think tinkering's on here, right?
No. Can I still make an arrow though? Can I just
Yeah,
find
so
like random?
so you'd be because they're like those, essentially they're like rudimentary arrows. You can I'll let you do a survival check to make them.
Okay.
Yeah, not making anything like that. I
Wow.
I look at my
Rough.
look here.
Double threes.
Survival.
The second time I think you've done that,
Oh,
Kai.
okay. I see her
Yeah, I
fail.
know.
I see her fail. Her face sunken down. I take the claws and I said, "Let me do that." And as we're walking, I'm making arrows. It's
Okay.
survival, right?
Yep. All right.
Let's
See.
a little better.
So you'll manage to make 18 arrows.
Okay.
Ooh.
I hand them to Kai. There you go. That's how you do it.
Man, Kai's impressed.
In my
For
barrel armor, I hand her these arrows. There. That's how you do it. He puts his hand on his side, like in the superhero pose, with the barrel in a barrel armor. Looking
look at
completely
him.
ridiculous.
I look at him all impressed. Man, for a rich city boy, you can make a pretty good arrow.
Ha! Of course I can. This is battle related. I'm good at that stuff. I'm not so good at, thinking, but hey, doing stuff with my hands is okay.
Well, I appreciate it. These arrows will definitely come through. Thank you.
Okay. So we continue on.
Yep. Just grabbing. I think this song will do it. Yeah, we'll use this. Okay.
I'm going to step away. Dax is, well, I'm stepping away for 30 seconds real quick. Going to quick grab some water.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Back.
Hari ni semua ada. Yang tak ada itik puyuh. Tak adalah. Nak COD barang-barang. Dia ada semua ada barang jual pun banyak. Tapi yang tak ada itik dengan puyuh ni tak ada.
Perfect.
Man, I feel like my rolls have been so bad today.
I mean,
You know, I think the paladin here rolling 220s in that fight. No, you've rolled more than 220s, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's I don't know. Like
My god
Every-
is watching over me.
yeah, it's like every group I run by, like someone will always just roll like garbage, and it'll just be like the worst rolls the entire night, and then you get to the final like fight, and they just blow through it. Like it's just like 20 after 20. It's like, oh, make a save. You know, you're you're about to lose it all, and then like they just natural 20 everything, and it's I don't know. It seems to be a pattern because I think my bet here is that Ryzen will he'll fall off with his crits. But we'll see.
Maybe. We'll
That's my
see.
bet. That's my bet. It's been the pattern. It's been the pattern every single time. So
I don't know.
not to scare you.
We'll
I
see.
trust the
We'll see.
DM. I trust the DM.
I mean, I'm fine with whatever. You know, whatever. What
Well,
happens
you are-
happens.
You are wearing barrel
I'm wearing
armor.
barrel armor. Nothing is this. My life can't get any worse. So, you know, whatever.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
The one big monkey.
Just want to double check. So I know
Mhm.
Dax and I kind of used our speaking with animals back in the town, and I know we've been walking all that, but we haven't taken a rest yet. Does it still take over a slot? Or
Did you? So, question is, are you a ritual class or no? So some spells like detect magic or speak with animals. Some classes are able to cast them as rituals, and others aren't. I'm not entirely sure around a ranger.
no, it's not a ritual.
Okay, so
We are-
then
Warlock, though, right? Is Warlock a ritual caster?
I think it is.
Yeah, but I'm only a level 2 in my warlock, and for my animal, I only have it under my ranger.
gotcha.
It's okay. If
Okay.
you're a ritual caster, though, can't you cast? Can you cast ritual spells across the board? So by taking Warlock and becoming a ritual caster, does everything fall under the purview then of being able to cast as a ritual anything for either class?
So you're level 2 warlock.
Yeah.
So what level does it ritual cast at?
I think for simplicity's sake, I'll say that it does come back over your long extended essentially travels. Say that there was time where you guys had to sit because you've been walking for so long. You need to rest your feet a bit and eat, drink, etc. So I'll say during that time you're able to get a short rest, sort of recover those slots for you. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Cool. So quick layout of this place as you're witnessing it. So Shine Bright leads you through the forest, and it seems like it's forever. And you're sure, and you sort of keep begging the question, like, "Are you sure you're here? That this is it? We're on the right path." But eventually, you come across this large tree that's nestled in the middle of this forest, and it looks very different from its surroundings. And that there are portions of this tree where it's taken smaller trees and essentially cut them flat to make almost like plateaus, like um, almost like stands, so or platforms, and they're connected by these bridges that make their way up. So if we were to look at this map, this is a bridge that goes up, and each square is 5 feet higher. So so for this platform, this is 10 feet off the ground. For this platform, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So that's 35 feet off the ground, right?
So,
And
is it this platform?
yeah, so those are the bridges, right? So the best way to think about it is each time you have to take a 5-foot square on the bridge, that's 5 feet higher you are climbing. So this platform here that has the small trees on it is 10 feet. Does that make sense? And then so if you were to follow it, right? Where's my ruler? Show to others. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, right? So the entrance of this building is technically 35 feet because it's accounting for that extra 10 from the bottom, right? And so when we go from here, it's another 15 feet. So as you're thinking about how high this thing is actually ascending, it does get up pretty high into the air. But they are but like I said, there's these as you approach, it seems like Shinebright tells you that this was originally his master bedroom. There is a small apprentice house where Noak used to sleep, and then a guard's house where they used to keep the security that would patrol the premises. He will note that the security was not apes when he originally created this place. That it was something else, but they had been run out, and so now it's loaded with these. What's the best word for it?
The Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, they're like muscle. Yeah. They're like muscle to the to Noak. They respect Noak. They are part of his collective as they guard this place. The apes themselves, he says, are not very observant. They're and in fact, when you guys approach, you're behind these bushes, and you can see the apes have these large D20s that they're playing with in the grass.
Okay, having gotten to where we are, I take out my water skin and I take a sip, increasing my charisma by 1. Right?
Okay. Yep.
I also do the same.
Okay.
Sure, I'll take a swig.
Everyone take the swing. I take the swing also.
All right.
All right.
Never know when that charisma is going to help.
Yep. Well, it's my main casting ability and saving throw, so it helps me quite a lot because it brings my from +2 to +3 now.
Yeah. So some final notes here is that Shinebright does mention that his initial study and all of his works and various tests and papers are within this portion of the of his laboratory.
So DM, I don't know, are you pinging right now? I'm not seeing your ping at all. If that's
is my arrow not showing?
a layer
No.
issue.
Oh, okay. You see it now?
Nope.
It should be to your north.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh. How about now?
There we
Yes.
Yeah, now there it is.
All right. I was on another layer. Okay.
Technical difficulties.
So this room here, he says, is his laboratory. It's where he keeps a lot of his notes. A lot of his scrolls reside within here. Within here is his arcane testing chamber. So it was specifically made so that he can cast magic at its full capacity and test off of it. He thinks that Noak probably is utilizing that a lot to further some of his own researches. That's something that he did.
Okay. I asked the Shinebright, where would your these scrolls, would any of these scrolls be of help to us, or where are your potions of anything? Where are they kept?
He notes that they would be namely in his in more his study room, where he kept a lot of his stuff. But he doesn't have confidence that a lot of the stuff survived, as Noak probably ran through it and was searching for very specific things and doing away with things that didn't meet his criteria.
Okay, so his study, they're like, oh shit, sorry.
His master bedroom, is that the highest point then?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
They're like in this room, right? Where my cursor
Yep.
is.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I suggest we sneak up. Hold on.
Shine Bright, are there any secret entrances or anything else you can tell us?
It's not working.
He says that there aren't as many mundane things with this arcane laboratory, just because the way he would get in here was generally through magic. He didn't have to rely on walking his way up into anything, so he didn't really formulate a secret entrance of sorts when he initially designed it.
Yeah, understood.
I suggest we go up towards these stairs over here. Go up that way. And see if we can find a way into that room that has the stuff in it.
Alright. Let's sneak around.
Mm-hmm. Sneak up there.
All right.
Okay, so if you're sneaking, I need everybody to make their stealth rolls then.
Okay.
Dax casts guidance on himself just to gain a little more confidence in his stealth roll.
Mm-hmm.
So 20 or 23 from Dax.
Okay. The humor is everyone passed.
Oh,
Yes.
Even arcs with his 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Woo!
Okay, so we move this way
There was big
Yup.
dumb
to this
monkey.
barrier here. I'm assuming this is a barrier.
So pause right there. So at the door though, to get past it, you do need to make a. So essentially, what it is the double doors have been torn from their walls, so they no longer protect whatever's inside here. It's been exposed to the elements. But the problem is that on this bridge, you have these two double doors, and getting over them is pretty difficult. If you try to walk over them just traditionally, I'll have you make another stealth roll, but it'll be at disadvantage.
at the top of the double doors, is it just an opening that leads into a chamber?
The doors are on the floor, right?
Yep, the doors are on the floor. So that's what makes
Okay.
it difficult, right? So you need to essentially come up with some creative way to get past these two mundane doors that might alert the guards.
So, my friends, I could wild shape into a creature that would have more agility and could perhaps stand along the side of the door and with a hand perhaps hoist us over the doors and into the adjoining chamber. Perhaps a chimpanzee or a baboon. How about a large baboon?
I say, how big are these doors?
There's solid size double doors, I would say. Look behind you in your room, take that door times by 2, add some weight to it.
Okay, so I'm thinking maybe you turn into some kind of strong creature like an ape or whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe we try to silently as we can, lift one of these doors up.
Oh.
And like move it out of the way so we can
Want
as
me
silently as possible.
if
The
I
doors themselves are acting as a ramp.
if I put the grease, is it more
Okay, so are
Is
they
it
a
m-
ramp
is it more
or so
advantage?
if we move them, we're not gonna be able to get in.
So wait, Oz, were you saying about the grease?
Okay.
If I put grease on the door, is it will roll advantage? on
I
this?
don't think we really want. I think we're gonna go flying
So-
into the room.
So Oz, the doors themselves. So imagine the door essentially in your room, but it's fallen off the hinges, so it's flat on the ground, right?
Yeah.
But the issue is that you guys are on this bridge, right? And so these two things are just like laying flat in the doorway, right? So you could try to step on them, but essentially you're getting the clattering of of the imbalance of this is technically higher ground. You're kind of at a slant. When you step on it, it's going to clatter, right? Or it's going to interact with the other door. And so
Hmm.
so we're trying to come up with the solution right now is how to get past these two mundane double doors without learning the cards.
Actions to Kai.
Hmm.
Kai, do you have any indication of an animal, a baboon or otherwise, that might be able to be dexterous enough to help traverse this?
Well, I do have a panther companion that I could call,
Oh,
and yeah, maybe they could jump over the mundane doors.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
would the panther be able to stay with us even after that? That sounds very fascinating.
I'm thinking that you and how much do you like does your character weigh about?
Oh,
Would you say you have light armor on, right?
I have medium armor.
Mm, okay. And Arkoth or Oz, you have light armor with just cloth, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm thinking maybe you two get on top of the panther and the panther tries to jump over the door, not making any sound.
I think we can try that. I feel like me and Oz are light enough.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, I quietly call out, Sander, and
Wait.
whoosh.
Again? Wait, what? Really?
You see a really beautiful cyan panther just appear.
Well, I'm glad you had an opportunity to bring the panther. I had no idea. That's awesome.
The panther comes into existence, and as it does, it sits and looks around at its surroundings before following in suit with you, Kai.
I gently pats his head and like caress his ear because it's been a while since I've seen him.
I imagine that panthers have like the cat like purr, right?
Yeah, they do.
Or
All
what, is it like a scary purr? I don't know.
It's like deep bass
I-
purr.
It's a very deep, like, yeah.
That's scary. Okay.
It sound like Indian.
Yeah. So a very.
You could just
very...
say purr. You don't have to do it. It's okay.
No, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I can barely roll my R's. So.
I can't do it.
But
That's the best I can do.
all right, Oz. I'm gonna call on you to make the purring sounds.
Yeah.
All right.
Try.
So so the panther comes into existence, as you described. It's cyan in color, and your idea is it one of you at a time, both of you? What's the?
I'm thinking both of them. Since they're a little lighter, both Kai and Oz get on first, and just make sure it's possible, so we don't make too much noise.
Yeah.
I asked my panther real quick. Are you gonna be okay with that? Me and the wizard over there on your back. Are you gonna be good?
Are they gonna be good? Yeah, it looks like they'd be good. Yep.
Okay.
They can for sure do at least one at a time.
Mhm.
But the thematics wise, it is just two mundane double doors on the ground. So, the two of you leap with the panther over the double doors, finding yourselves into the next room, while the other two are still on the bridge. You see within here. Many of the torches are still lit. they carry their residual flames that produce light without the actual warmth of fire.
Did
And
the sheep followed us up here, right?
the sheep's in the bushes. It's not going all the way
He's
up.
not. He didn't come up with us.
He would die.
Okay. Well,
I was
wanted him
being
to-
merciful. I can have the sheep come up if you like.
Okay. He's fine there. Whatever. I wanted him to like identify some of these spells or whatever. That
Yeah.
Are in scrolls. But
So it looks like someone had gone through and was scavenging through the bookcases. Many of the papers just torn from their books or removed from the shelves and scattered across the ground, without much delicacy behind it. Whatever was being searched for clearly took prominence over material or magical knowledge.
okay. Oz, do you want to do like? Would he do like an Arcana check or something to see? Look, I want you to look at the books and the pages and see if you can identify anything that would help us.
So, I mean, right now they're inside. We're not. I think we're gonna have to.
No,
figure out a way to traverse
I
the doors.
whisper to him and ask if he could do that while we're waiting outside.
We here searching for the stuff. Right. The magic stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Arcana check for detecting the magic around here. Is it? I'm not sure.
Yeah, so you can do an Arcana to generally figure out some of the scrolls as well as books in here as as to what Shine Bright was looking into at the time. But I would keep in mind that even with his research, if it found its way possibly to the ground or was torn out, then possibly it had no value to what Noak was looking into.
So can I do investigation check for is any clue to find that stuff?
Sure.
I would say
Sure.
just you look for anything useful.
Yeah. So trying to draw upon what he might be searching for.
Oh, he's not gonna find anything.
Oh no.
Well,
I motion to the elf. Kai's a human, right? Or is
Yes,
are you an elf?
I'm a human.
Okay, I motion to the archer. Like, can you help him with that?
What do you mean? I can't read.
Your character can't read.
No. Well, like, I imagine like she can, cause she grew up kind of like in the forest and she was raised by
Okay.
animals. Yeah.
Okay.
When the dramatic
Okay.
music plays, the new revelation. I can't read.
I can't read. I like. Well.
Can I'm gonna whisper to my Panther Xander and have him jump over the doors
Mhm.
and whisper to both Dax and Ryzen.
I don't
If
think
one
we
of-
can. We can't use. We're not gonna hear this. All we're gonna hear is like purrs and growls. So. Just keep that in mind.
I know I'm whispering over to you guys though.
Okay.
I'm gonna
ahead.
say, why don't you get on Xander and come over here?
Okay. I think we should go one at a time. Go ahead. Go
Yeah.
get on first, Dax. Since
Ryzen,
you're a little smaller than me.
please, I'm actually going to wild shape myself and then take another look around, please. After you.
Okay. I get on the panther.
I
imagine-
I
I
admire
imagine
your,
this barrel dude in barrel armor sitting on top of this panther.
I
going-
just am,
Huzzah! Let's
I just-
go.
I just can't get over your bravery that you would sit on this cat. Like I can't think of a single point in my life. I'd be like, yeah, let me sit on that cat. That's gonna go well.
I mean, I see
He's
they did
nice.
it. I'm like,
Kai.
I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
Just Kai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we're in here now.
All right.
Now that's
And
gonna
Kai.
wild shape. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no,
I'm
no,
going-
Jack, you go ahead.
No,
Okay.
Dak, go ahead.
Dax is gonna wild shape into a gray squirrel, and
I love it.
just scamper on up. No issues, hopefully, with the boards at all, and come in here and be prepared to scout out elsewhere as needed, as a little innocuous squirrel.
Perfect.
I
Hi.
kneel down and oh yes.
I want you to make a perception check for me. Oh, you're dropping the ball again. All right.
No.
What were you going to do? Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna look at Dax. I'm gonna have one knee down, raise my palm up to him, and be like, "You wanna come on my shoulder?"
Dax would oblige.
And I just put him on my shoulder. Shoulders.
Are these doors? Is the door here? Or is this an opening?
Yep. So the doors are shut. So it appears that these might be the only doors that are still fastened into their spots.
Okay. It's a pretty solid wall. It seems like along here.
Yep.
Ryzen steps into the room like he's stepping in the room. Like, he's gonna also try and investigate the room. Maybe he gets better luck than his other companions. So would I roll investigation?
Sure.
Right. 12. Not
It's
the greatest. Okay.
So it appears from your pollings, there seems to be a lot of pages, particularly missing from folklore in particular. And as you sort of thumb through it, there's what strikes out to you the most is that they described a demon that would sort of prowl through the land, but it never shared its original form. That it would often take other forms to keep its guise ambiguous, and so it could stay longer and longer, and any lore that was ever written about it never stayed with it for too long because it would assume a new form throughout it. And as you're sort of reading through it, you find an odd symbol that seems to be written, scribed into the margins of one of the books, and it looks like a crude outline of a black dragon that's almost looks like a serpent.
I go over. I holding this book. I go over and show everybody. Look, there's this looks oddly familiar to me. And I show them the black dragon symbol.
Dax's tail bristles. Very concerned.
I calm him down with a light pat on his head.
Appreciate it.
The,
As Raisin comes forward with the information, you hear a clattering of doors in the other room.
We
We need to hide.
we hide.
Okay, where?
What's
What's in the room? Like, is there anywhere in
Is
the
there-
room?
is this a table? Or like the thing on the floor?
Oh, that's
Oh,
a carpet. You could
it's a
go
carpet.
under the carpet.
Uh,
See a bulge in the carpet.
This is a table here, right? Right next to me.
Yeah, it is.
Ryzen hides underneath the table.
With his barrel.
His barrel. Oh no. He no. Wait.
Or does he lay on his
Ryzen-
side and he just assumes a barrel?
Ryzen stands here, and brings his arms in the barrel. Is it like a full barrel or is it?
Sure.
Okay, he brings his arms in the barrel and tucks his head in, and he's a barrel now.
Dax begrudgingly leapt from Kai's shoulder and then ran over, climbed I assume it's all wood, so climbed the kind of the wall near the door and kind of stayed just kind of around the corner at the very top of the door, kind of keeping an eye on, but trying to look like a very natural squirrel, just looking for food or something.
Guys, we gotta hide this panther.
No. I'm gonna tell my panther to follow Dax the squirrel and kind of like go outside and bury
Well,
himself a
Dax
little
is
bit.
inside, just up on top of the edge of where the door should be, like the frame.
Oh, okay.
Kind of teetering on the edge there, yeah.
Yeah. So I think you should maybe go outside.
Okay, we can do that. He'll just stay outside then.
Yeah.
Is what's in front of me right here to my left, like this area?
Yeah, so it's a desk that's been broken into.
I tuck my head out, like motion her to come over here and hide behind my barrel.
I hide behind his barrel. I scurry over quietly.
I put my head down again, and I look like a barrel.
I'm in fetal position. Try to keep myself as small as possible.
Dax is hatching a plan to perhaps ride the panther into battle as a squirrel on his back, if that's what it comes to. It's a little thought he might.
The panther just stares at you intently.
Dex, is this where you've chosen to be?
It's a squirrel form at the very top of the, kind of just on the outside of the top of the door frame, I guess. Just kind of peeking around the corner.
All
So
right.
maybe kind of close to where the panther is, kind of in that area.
So Dex,
Yep.
as you sort of stand out, as you're in your squirrel form, undetectable outside, you look across to the other bridge where you see a man in robes has backed up very quietly, and he's got a wand in his hand, but you see him cast a spell upon himself, and he ascends into the air, and he seems to be at a blind spot as he looks down at the doorway below, almost waiting to spring a trap.
Do I get the sense that he's aware of some presence, that it truly is a trap? Would you say?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Does he see our panther friend?
He hasn't yet. His attention really is so. Full disclosure, his attention is sort of like on this bridge of sorts. His eyes focused on the doorway. You can see that he's almost just looking down, and he's got the wand sort of cocked back in his arm, and he's ready to sort of cast at the first thing that goes through that door.
Okay. Okay. Seeing this and seeing that it's going to lead to a weird standoff, and he's got the wand, I'm going to, in squirrel form, descend down back into the room, and make my way across. I'm going to stay in squirrel form for as long as I can, so my companions maybe see me crossing the room. And as soon as I get to the other,
I poke my head out of my barrel and be like, I see him coming towards us.
all right. And as soon as I get to the far end, and I get maybe behind these the furniture as well, I'll revert back to Dax himself, and then and say very quietly, says, the enemy knows we're here. He's just outside the master bedroom. Wand, probably the wand we're seeking, pointed down in a trap-like fashion at the adjoining bridge. He knows we're here, and he seems to be ready.
We did so well.
Hmm.
Indeed, at some point, if he's powerful, he must have become aware of our presence. So we best to engage as soon as we can in some fashion before he gets extra clever.
Hmm.
If he seemed very ready. I'm already, Kai, very fond of your panther. Is your panther, as already being an animal, is it possible that the panther would be willing to take one from the team? Would it injure
That's
the
what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. We
Kai just
we use it as a
stares
shield.
aghast.
Use it as a shield.
But
Uh,
but if the timing was right, perhaps our friend could be withdrawn back into the astral plane or
oh,
wherever. it is.
wait! I got an idea. I motion to Kai. I'm like, I have an idea. This wand, he's ready to turn into. He's gonna use the wand on whoever goes through the door. I say, maybe I have an idea. I say, go tell your panther to go as quiet as you can. Go down the stairs and pick up Shine Bright.
Why do we need the Shine Bright?
I'm thinking maybe we have Shine because he's already a sheep.
Oh, we sacrifice him.
He's not. He's. It's only gonna be turned into something else. Like I'm thinking maybe we trick the bad guy into maybe turning Shine Bright back or into some kind of humanoid form.
I suspect that the creature that the enemy is going to turn something into is not going to be another human. It would probably be even a less powerful beast of sorts. But either way, Shinebright would not last long if he were to join us here. And I don't know if we have the time. I like the idea. But
Okay.
and would Shinebright agree? Given
Yeah,
what
we
we
gotta-
know of the Archmage, I'm not sure.
I was kind of motioning to the panther to just go pick him up. just
You pick him up.
pick him up. Like if he objects, just hold him by the tuft and just drag him along. But we'll forget that. We'll find another way. Okay.
Um,
So we're back to sacrificing the panther.
No. If you want, you look like a barrel. We could probably just roll you over, right?
I'm not. I mean,
Oz, do you have anything maybe?
we
by any
don't
chance?
have counter spell.
Yeah,
but
I don't have anything.
What about we try to have him go into the room, right?
How
I feel like
how about we
So
throw some
his-
stone?
you're saying these doors like the doors like to the star area like on our side, are they doors, or
Yeah, they're doors.
and the
So
ones
they're
by
they're exactly like these doors, except they're up. They're not
Okay.
they're not knocked down.
are the door? I'm assuming the doors to this guy are the ones that are down
Yep.
as well.
Is this door locked or not?
No one tested
We
it.
don't know. We don't know yet.
Dax. I whispered to Dax, can you like just slightly poke the door to see if it's open or not?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, it.
I thought you were still a squirrel. My bad. I thought you could
Yeah,
just like.
that's what I'm like. Are you still? You should just stay a squirrel.
I could
guess
just
the
walk
wild
over and
keeping
peek.
it. I can still wild shape one more time if needed, but
I say save it.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
now.
to save it. Um, who's like the lightest? Like the most stealthy?
It should be Kai, is it?
Like let's see. That would
I
be stealth is
I
Dex. Who
think
has the
that's
highest Dex?
My deck is 3.
Mine is 12, so it's not me.
16.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
same,
good.
same with Dax. We're pretty dexterous.
Yeah, same as
With that
me.
idea.
So I say one of
Okay.
you sneak over there and check the door
I'll go.
if you're up for it.
Yeah.
I'll
I think-
go. Okay, I'll
Wait,
quietly
wait,
walk
wait. Hold on,
over.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
What? Yes, 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 yes.
I'm gonna give you what is it? Long Strider. Cast at the level. Let's see, level 3.
Yes.
What does that do again? Oh, it lets you move further.
Yep. 10 feet.
Wait,
10 feet.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Alright.
Okay.
In case anything happen, you can run away.
I look at Oz and give him like a happy nod of a thanks, and I walk
Wait,
over to.
you're using it at level 3, you said, right?
Yep.
It says when you cast a spell using a spell slot of second or higher level, you can target one additional creature first
Yep.
for every slot level above first. So you can target 2 more people with that spell if you're
Yeah,
gonna cast it.
I target 3 of you, like all 3.
Right, 3. Yeah.
Oh, us three. Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
that's cool. Thank you. Okay. Is there any windows on the door?
There are no windows on these doors.
Okay. I slightly touch the door just to see if or the knob to see if it opens or not. Quietly.
Okay, give me a stealth.
Give me a good roll.
Hey.
Hey,
Uh.
you touch the knob and they are indeed unlocked.
Oh, okay. I open the door.
The door swings open.
I just peek my head in. I don't go in. I just peek my head in.
Mm-hmm. So you peek your head into this room. It looks like an arcane circle of sorts. Shinebright did mention that this is where he did a lot of his training as well as testing of spells, where it could take some of his more volatile magic and ensure that there wasn't catastrophic results because of it.
Okay.
But the doors to the north are shut, and the doors to the southwest are just like the doors to the southeast, where
So he
they're
can see
marked off
part
by
way
hinges.
into the room right now.
Well, if he's
He
He
might.
doesn't-
He is. So he's 100 feet up.
Okay.
Technically,
okay, so
technically he can see
okay.
here, but cannot see here, right?
He can't
Correct.
see that way.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you think about the angles and stuff, he's really up there, and he's just waiting for essentially you to, try to step over the doors quietly and what have you, and zap.
Hmm.
So if we enter the room at all, he'll just
I'll
zap
move up
us.
this way.
No, because he can't see you.
Oh, no,
If you
yeah,
think
just
about
this-
Yeah,
Like here.
he's not gonna see us unless you move like
Yeah.
a little past the actual
If
circle.
we go
Okay.
right here, it should be fine.
So you
Should
can you move there.
But we still
Um,
need to be stealthy around here.
Okay.
So if this is him up here, he can't see, he can't see very far into that room.
I need to see the mage for my casting the magic missile, so I cannot see where he is. I cannot target the spell on him. right now.
So
Okay, there's
you guys are
pieces
faced. You guys are faced with another problem here, and I want you to really think about what the limitations of a caster might be.
What is it?
Well, you don't have counterspell, right? So you can rule that out, right? So you're not counterspelling him at this given point. But think about what
I'm
he
seeing it,
needs. But think about what he needs to succeed.
I'm thinking he needs line of sight.
Or
as
maybe
well.
just anyone just to walk on, like, either in the room on the star.
Maybe. I'm saying we avoid the star, like go around the sides. Okay, like I'm looking around the room for like a piece of like. Are there any like saucers or dishes or like any kind of reflective material
Sure,
around?
sure. Let's say you can find you find a small steel mirror.
Okay.
Hmm.
I take the mirror and I come up this way.
Okay.
Uh,
So what you gonna do about that?
how big is the mirror again?
About the size of your hand.
Hmm. Okay. I sneak over this way towards avoiding the circle this way and over to this door.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
I'll use the mirror. I'll use the mirror and like put my hand out a little bit and use it to try and see him through the mirror.
Okay.
Dax sees this. What is Ryzen doing? he's, he's
I go,
He-
shh.
I just have
Right.
disbelief on my face.
This is Dekai.
Okay.
All right. You do indeed see him. You see him waiting up there. You see that he can see that small little reflection shining in his face now.
Okay. Okay, so he really knows I'm here now.
Yep.
I take the mirror back and I see it. I slink back this way. Like I whisper, guys, he really knows us here. Knows we're here now.
You think?
How about this? How about this?
Okay.
If I throw the grease here and then throw the firebolt here and then burn this or this
Hmm.
area, perhaps.
Well, you're not over there. You're currently still inside the room with
Yeah. Yeah,
Dax.
but
Okay, so you would want to set what, the apes on fire?
no, right here. It's like this area.
The bridge.
So
Okay.
if I stand here, I can cast the grease on this area and I can cast the firebolt to this area to lead it
Sure.
to engulf this bridge on the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Are we thinking smoke? We can.
I don't have
Create a-
I don't have smoke. Do you have something?
I could create fog.
Oh.
Okay.
I could
That's
create
nice.
fog.
Okay.
I also could. I have detect magic, so we could see what the circle does, or if there's anything
Yeah,
in the room.
let's try and detect magic on the room.
Well,
I guess.
do we think is the circle that is the most dangerous at the moment? I have a feeling that probably relatively benign compared to the caster, and your spells might be better saved for the battle ahead.
True,
well,
but I don't know.
yeah,
That circle does scare me a bit.
I can
Not gonna lie.
I can
You like-
arcane check here on this circle to be sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
you can.
Yeah, go ahead.
If it's another one.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh, dude.
Go Oz! Go
Oz.
do it!
job.
thank
You're on a
you.
roll. You're on a
Oz.
roll.
Yes, finally.
That's your one roll of the night.
Oz,
Enjoy it.
this might change things a little bit for you. So So Oz,
Yes.
that circle I did allude to that there was a training room that Shine Bright used to control some of his more volatile magic. It's almost like a nullifying ring. So,
Oh.
not only do you know what it sort of does, as this is something that's happened within the colleges. At least you have observed. You've never quite used one yourself,
Yep.
but you might have a slight inclination on how to use it. So, within that circle, anything that is within that circle, the magic is nullified
Okay.
from an outside source. So if there's an outside source casting magic within it, anything within the circle nullifies it. So if, say, someone hit you with a magic missile, but you were standing in that circle, as long as they were outside of the circle at the given time it was cast, it would nullify the magic missile.
Neat.
Circle of protection, and
Yeah.
the caster is not in it. Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. So we stay inside the circle and we're protected from magic
question,
unless he gets inside.
If I stand inside this circle, can I cast magic outside to the circle?
No, but you can cast it within the circle.
Or I mean, can I throw from magic missile from here to outside?
No, the circle will dissipate your magic.
So think of it as almost like a dome that goes over that, right? So you can cast within it, you can cast outside of it, but the two can't meet.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Got it. Got it.
So it's like a double-edged sword. So we're kind of protected, but we can't like
Yeah.
attack anything.
I
out of it.
absolutely cannot stay inside there. So I guess Ryzen, go bait him. Stay inside the circle, bait him up.
Do you? Let me think.
Maybe.
Do you?
So give it some thought.
Yeah, that's kind of dangerous.
I mean, he cannot touch you
What?
if you're inside the circle.
What spells do you have available to you right now?
I have Firebolt, Ray of Frost, Mending, Magic Missile, Grace, Expeditious Retreat, Long Strider, Identify, and Comprehend Language. That's all.
I was hoping you had like a light spell or something, but
In light,
um,
I mean, Dark have some light spell, is it?
I do.
Oh.
I can produce a flame as needed.
Yeah.
no, I mean like actual light, like shine ray or something like that.
No.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of reluctant to get to peek out that door again.
I mean, Kai
Um,
also can stand inside this circle and then fire arrow to the mage.
You want me in the circle?
I mean, you see, right? It's not gonna touch you with the magic if you're inside the circle.
I have thing with circles, man. I don't want to touch that.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, I do have. I can change back into a sheep once more. We know this Noak is very interested in Shine Bright. If he believes Shine Bright is here with us, perhaps he would make a move. We need to get him down from his perch. If we have no other way, perhaps a sheep in a circle might do it. If we think it's worth it.
My hand is
Do
tied.
we
it's
even
up.
do we even know that Noak knows what the circle does?
We have no idea.
we don't know anything about him. That he wasn't. I assume we haven't. We don't know anything about him
Okay.
right now.
If he was Shine Bright's apprentice for even a little bit, he probably has some semblance of what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
Well, friend, shall we? I don't know what the future holds. I don't want to be turned into a creature, a beast forever. I like being able to turn back to my normal dwarven, handsome self. But if the
How
longer we
how
wait,
how far can you shoot an arrow?
120.
How many
right?
spaces?
How many uses? How many far?
Well,
Sorry.
how far can it fly?
Uh,
120
I don't know.
feet.
I was thinking maybe you go out to the bridge where your panther is on, and would she be able to see this caster by standing on that bridge, or
Yeah.
is he too high?
No, she could see him from that bridge.
Okay.
No problem.
I quickly touch her bow with magic weapon, so you get a +1 and hit and damage again.
Okay.
Oh, this
okay.
bridge have no roof, right? Is it there?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait over here.
There is a
for-
roof to this. So there is so you guys are technically inside of a tree right now. So the rest of it just kind of plumes up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here's the plan. So I go outside with my panther and I'll just snipe the dude. What are you guys gonna do
I'm gonna wait
if that
for you
doesn't
to-
work out?
I'm gonna wait for you to snipe and see if his attention is turned to you, like looking with my mirror, and then I'll just rush him.
Also, question: if my teammates see the enemy, can I snipe from behind the cover? Like, even I cannot see the enemy.
No.
So I want you so this comes with experiences of magic missile.
Yep.
So magic missile, you only need to see your target. You don't
Yep.
need to have line of effect on your target.
Yep.
So you could do it from the bridge too.
He could
Out
do
where
it
the
with the
panther-
mirror.
Oh! I motion to Oz to come in here.
But
A voice
And
from
avoiding the circle.
it's too. It's
we'll
too
call
close.
that part of the 27 Arcana.
Yeah.
High level.
Yeah. Well, he is a wizard. He is a wizard. He's using
Yeah.
very elementary.
I need to go adventure to learn a skill. That's why I
Yes.
come here.
Okay.
Part
I
of
motion
part
to
of it
come
is
in.
I'm just bridging the gap between the two. You know, what his character knows and what he knows.
I kind of hold the mirror out to where his reflection is in it. Where the
Okay.
dude's reflection is in it. And I motion for Oz to come over and cast Magic Missile
Oh, can I
through
see
the
that?
reflection.
Can I see from here?
And
Wait.
while he's doing that, I nod to Kai to get ready to fire.
Okay, well, while that's happening, I'm gonna have my panther, because we're still stealthing, have my panther jump back in, take me with him. We're gonna jump back out,
Get ready.
and I'm gonna
So-
have my bow ready.
Can I see Sin Ryzen holding the mirror? Can I see the mist from here? Is it too small?
Yeah,
Is it the
From where
mirror-
you are,
has
no.
to
But
go
if you got like right behind him, you could.
yeah, just come up right behind me.
Right. Alright then. So I'm gonna ready and action.
Oh boy.
Things
Okay.
are gonna
Okay,
get
what-
interesting.
I'm
Kai,
gonna,
what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna ready action magic missile.
I mean, Dax. I meant.
Dax is
Okay.
gonna hold his position, I think, and be ready to move in whatever direction he needs.
Okay.
Okay.
So, just before this all begins, he has a wand that not only turns inanimate objects into creatures, but normal dispel magics and stuff like that do not get rid of this effect. So if you do get turned, the only way you can get turned back is if someone uses the wand on you. Just want to bring that up.
Okay.
Just in case that becomes a thing.
Well, I have a question. Will
Yeah.
does it have to actually hit the person, or can I duck inside my barrel and would it affect me inside the barrel?
Yes.
Or would it-
would
yeah.
the target would be you.
Okay.
Well, when let's say when he targets us, do we at least have like a roll to like dodge?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, you have. So your role will be it'd be a wisdom saving throw. Unless so the only time it would be like a dexterity is if he shot you with like a ray or something like that, and you had a chance to like take a mirror, like lift a mirror or something like that, and have it reflect. But this isn't the case with that.
Okay.
Okay, so have everybody roll initiative.
My
Oh damn. Real quick question. While
Oh.
Kai's
Nice. I get to go
on the
first.
other side of the bridge, do I see his wand sticking out, or like what do I see?
What do you see when you go to that bridge?
Yeah, like I see him, right? But like
Mhm.
all of him, do I see him holding the wand?
Yes. So you have you do have a clear shot on him. He is immensely focused with that singular doorway. He has not factored in that you could possibly be right there. So I'd keep that in mind. But uh, but you do have a clean shot on him from your currently stand. So what you're observing is it looks like it's almost like he's like standing like almost on an invisible platform of sorts. He is up in the air. He's not necessarily flying. Nothing about him's like fluttering per se, but it's like he's standing on an invisible platform, and he's looking down with his sort of arm cocked up, ready to strike with his wand.
Amy's won.
Ryzen, you did roll a 20, so you can manually change your turn order. It's showing 0 for some reason.
Yeah.
Did you click your token when you did it?
No. I clicked on the initiative in my character profile.
You need to
Yeah,
select.
yeah.
You need to select your token and then.
So you could also go to the turn order, and where you have yourself in the turn order, you can just manually put in
Okay.
what your value is.
Just one T. There.
And Kai, did you roll 8?
Yeah.
I don't think Oz rolled yet.
I did.
I was rolled a 15, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yep. We're all here.
My
Hey, let's see how the plan transcends.
Okay.
Please
We
don't
haven't.
be the first group to fail.
Oh no!
Everyone else has beaten him.
Oh.
my ready action is based on Kai first shot.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass my turn until he's hit with the arrow from Kai.
All right. So in the chat, I'm gonna whisper to myself what he does.
Man, that's long turn.
Okay.
That's long turn. What
All
are
right.
you
I feel like we did like such a roundabout way.
doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's
Oz is
his turn.
casting magic missile. Is that how it's launching this?
Yeah, my ready action magic missile based on Kai first shot. When I hear the Kai shot the arrow and then I activate my magic missile.
Oh, Kai was
Okay.
shooting the arrow first. I thought Oz was launching magic missile first.
I
No.
hoping Kai have better shot his wand.
So I think we need to need to establish how this rolled out here. So Oz, you were waiting for Kai, but Kai was
Yep.
waiting for Oz. Is that
No. So, I'm the first shot, but the fact that because my initiative's so low, my turn is like the third turn. So everything's gonna happen after I shoot.
okay?
Okay.
I believe this guy gonna fly away. God dang. I got a feeling.
How do I? For some reason, the the measuring thing, like the arrow isn't working for me when I press Q.
You have to move.
Do you hold your? Are you holding your token?
Yeah.
And so you hold your token and you push Q and then Q on every spot.
Okay, there we go. So let's see.
But keep in mind, he is 80 feet above the ground.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Mm.
I have his token
Oh.
marked with 80. He is 80 feet
Okay.
off the ground.
Hmm.
I mean, he cannot see what inside this building right now.
He cannot see inside the building.
Only this area.
Hmm.
So it's Ryzen. It's
So
your turn.
he's 80 feet away from me.
It's floating.
More or less,
From the
Pythagoreans
door?
theorem. Yeah, more or less.
Okay, let's see. 40.
10,
70.
10,
So just to clarify, what has transpired so far?
20.
So, from what has been observed, he is descended a little bit, but he is still keeping his wand up. Raisin,
Go ahead, sir.
Raisin and Oz are still determining whether they want to go before or after Kai.
Um.
I I said that waiting for Kai to initiate first.
Raisin, do you agree?
Yes.
Is Dax
Okay.
aware of this? Is Dax aware of this? 'Cause
Okay.
I don't want to we've been metagaming a lot. I hesitate to do any more of that, but Dax
all
is
good.
looking expectantly, and he whispers at Oz, "What's the holdup? Kai is waiting for you."
Okay. So I see him holding his wand, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna aim for his hand. And I'm
Okay.
hoping he'll drop the wand.
So I will put it as. So you have advantage because he doesn't know you're there. You have disadvantage for hitting his particular hand that's holding the wand and not central body mass. So it'll be a normal roll.
Normal roll.
This could be the roll of the night right here.
Could be.
Um,
The way we're playing.
wait. Okay, before I do this though, can I actually have my panther go like maybe here? Right? Can I do that?
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
And then okay, here we go.
So this gives away Kai's position.
Yep. This gives
Yeah.
away Kai's position.
Please drop the wand.
no.
Wait. I have a 10 because I have the bonus damage from Ryzen. So it's a 10.
Okay.
Tension.
DM.
I think the DM's adjudicating what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Oh no, guys.
I don't know.
I assume we didn't lose DM. You're there, right?
We're gonna be the. Oh, hello.
Yep. I'm still
Okay,
here.
okay,
I'm
okay.
I'm thinking, processing.
Okay.
We're gonna be the first team to not. We're gonna fail.
Well, we got to make sure that doesn't happen here.
All right. So, I will award every single one of you a point of inspiration if you do not have one, but you must look on the turn order, whoever is below your name, you must say something about tonight, about that character that you really enjoyed.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, so I really like that Oz is supposed to be this great mage, and he only has level 1 spells. But even that, he's been really good just using level 1 spells. That I think highly of him. He only has a limited amount of spells, but he does well with them. So
I like that say really confident in what he doing. It's like very experienced about adventuring, so I inspire to be like him.
Hmm.
Dax can go. He's got inspiration, but I'd like to say a few kind words about our dungeon master. Not only has the storytelling been great, but Lefty or Munch, you've been fantastic in terms of educating and being a leader and a mentor for helping people pick up this amazing hobby. So I really appreciated the way you've been running things tonight, and I really appreciate
this was my first game, and I'm finding the direction really good.
Oh, it's been absolutely
Oh
fantastic.
no, same. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's thanks to our dungeon master. It's just been fabulous, fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Dax, you just spoiled me so rotten.
No, it's been really fun. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem. I always consider personal compliments PvP in my games, but that's okay. So
you told us
know,
the compliment. Like,
yeah, I know. I
told
thought you
us.
would jump. I thought you would jump to Kai. I was like, yes. You know, this is it's all wholesome.
Oh,
that I heard.
okay, I see.
Dungeon Master. No,
I
it's fine.
see.
Okay, so the thing I think I enjoy about Kai's character is that I really like the growth of the character throughout the game. It seems like they started out pretty quiet on their sort of lonesome, and they've sort of grown akin to this group and sort of formed a pact bond. I had the luxury of reading their backstory, so I got to have like a little insight into the sort of wild child. So seeing the wild child sort of transition is great. And obviously, reflavoring spells and abilities is one of my favorite things in the world. A player did it in one of my games before, and it was just like, I'm like, this is amazing. Like I was like, what spell are you even casting? And it's just like, you know, he just had the craziest descriptions for everything, and you know, I started to see that, and it's great. So everyone, if you didn't have inspiration, please add a point of inspiration. Use it wisely. And this is something that I typically do in my tables anyways. For my campaigns, I rarely hand out inspiration, but I always say is that everyone at between level ups gets a point of inspiration, and they can't spend it on themselves. They have to spend it on someone else.
Oh, wow.
And they have to say something nice about that person before they give them the inspiration. So
Awesome.
So we can give each other the inspiration. Okay.
So,
It's fun.
all right. So I believe we go back to Kai. Kai, are you using your inspiration to hit the mage?
Yes.
Or are you just going to let the arrow go and...
No, I'm gonna
run like
use my
hell?
inspiration. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay.
So you're sitting at 10 right now, but let's see what happens.
So do I roll again, or that just?
So what you do is I'll put it with apostrophe in front of it, but it's essentially roll 1d8. So roll.
Eight.
Just something like that
Okay.
without the apostrophe.
Nice roll.
That's going to hit.
Oh, is it really?
That hit.
Beautiful.
Can
Wow. He's
If-
got
okay.
he's got the evasion of a rock.
if the wand falls to the ground, can I have my panther go and grab it?
Yes, because the panther does act on your turn. It looks like they've only done a movement. So what I would say is that with their action, they continue with more movement. So they take a move action, go over it, and it's a free. You get one free object interaction per turn. So they'd be able to pick it up.
Okay.
Whether he dropped it or not is the question.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
I didn't realize that's what you're doing. That's awesome. That was a good idea. Panther
Perfect.
ready.
Got it. Panther ready. Let's go.
Okay, let's see if he drops it. Oh boy. All right, I need you to roll me damage as well because he is concentrating on a spell as we speak, and he might lose it while he's up here. 8 piercing, so he will have to make a DC 10. You know, did I get an inspiration or?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Did you get it?
Is that the way we roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was I was questioning whether since you said something like, okay, is he gonna get inspiration?
Yeah, no, I won't do it. I'm not giving him villain points.
I mean, I think it would be fair, but I mean, but not. I'll leave it up to you.
So he absolutely butchers his levitation.
Okay.
He does keep hold of his wand, though, which there is some irony to it. But we'll see. He is going to take quite a bit of damage as he falls 80 feet.
Ooh,
Yeah. Minus 8, and then 8d6.
Okay.
Wow.
I have
All
this
right.
move. I have this move. I'm.
oh, cool.
He's down there now, though.
oh no.
Yep. He smacks his back on the bridge. He tumbles down. He falls prone.
Oh no.
Okay.
It's breaking the line of sight. Oh no.
Yeah. I was gonna. Oh wait, I can. I could probably still do that, right? I'm gonna move to. Let's see here.
Oh wait, sorry, Raisin. Right before you go, Kai. So you shot your arrow. Are you moving? Or are you staying there?
I'm gonna move. Damn. Okay, just real quick. At this point, have we alerted the monkeys?
Their master has fallen. Monkeys will be on their way.
Okay, I'm just gonna fucking run back into the room,
Okay, and your panther.
and my panther would come with me.
Okay, so it's essentially like a cat scales to the side of the building and runs up. Okay.
He
And
can
that's
jump
it.
really high. Panthers can
Man.
jump high.
Man, what to do
Oh, yeah.
now?
The perks of a big cat.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Raisin, it is now your turn. Sorry.
Okay. I have a move that I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm gonna move. Let's say. Q. Wait, I can't.
Dude, we still have to find that stuff. Oh
Not-
no.
It's not a. Okay. I'm gonna move here. I don't know how far that is. I'm gonna
So
move.
that's
Like,
5. So each square's 5. So
Okay.
5, 10. You're at 15 right now.
okay. I'm going to. How far away from me is he down there?
Oh boy. Okay. 1 second. Quick math. It's
30?
That's 10, and that is
20.
20. That's 30, and we are currently at
Oh,
40. You are 40 feet above him.
Okay. All right. I'm going to. Okay, I gotta move. Okay. I'm going to jump off of here.
Mhm.
But as I'm falling, I'm going to use Misty Step and try and come up like behind him.
Okay.
Would that work as I'm falling?
You could, before you even fall, you could just Misty Step there.
Well, it's only goes 30 feet. I don't think.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, sure.
it only goes 30 feet. So I was thinking I'd jump down to close the distance a little bit, and
Yeah,
then
so yeah,
use
so
Misty Step.
bonus action spells are fast like reaction spells. They're very very quick, and that's why you typically can't cast a spell of level with a bonus action spell because of essentially the complexity of the two. But yes, in this very instance, you would be able to sort of jump off, fall, and then Misty Step at the last moment to a safe spot without carrying
Okay.
the momentum.
So I do that.
Okay.
I'm about 5 feet away from him now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You use prone. You have advantage with melee weapons.
Okay.
Oh, advantage.
I'm going to. Let's see. I get 2 actions, right? Or did I?
You have
I just.
you have one
I use the-
action, but sometimes you can get an extra attack if you're.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna attack him
Okay.
twice.
Okay.
Let's see. Longsword.
Uh huh.
And then. Okay, this. Let's see. Okay, I'm assuming that hits.
Yes.
I'm gonna roll for damage.
Well.
Well,
Okay.
Well.
and then
Raisin,
I
I'm
get to
telling
attack.
you right now, you better kill him. You have till the
Oh,
end of your
oh.
turn.
Wait, before I probably can't add it. I was gonna do. I forgot I could do a smite.
Okay.
Oh wait, I can. I can add it after the damage, right?
You can. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna. I have 4. Let's see. I used.
Don't you still have an extra attack? You can do it on the. Well, you got to actually kind of pick your battles.
I was gonna do. I was gonna use 2 first level spell slots. So that's 2d8,
Mhm.
right? Okay. Let's see. Slash.
Okay.
Really? Really?
Homie.
Okay, that's 5
getting
extra
really
points.
close.
And I'm going to my second attack.
Okay.
Oh wait, yeah.
Ooh.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't hit.
You have a trick up your sleeve, though, perhaps?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna use the inspiration.
Okay.
Okay. That gives it +1, right?
It's a 1d8, but +1 will sink you into the spot you need to be in. So
Okay.
it's uh-huh.
Okay. So I hit now.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to roll
Yo, we need to one shot him.
11 slashing, and then I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
burn a level 2 spell slot, which
Oh.
gives me. I don't what was smite again. Hold on. I don't
Imagine like out of nowhere, Noke just got shot down, fell on the floor. See some like dude wearing like a barrel.
Just jumps the rail and attacks him.
Yeah.
Oh man.
By the guy wearing the barrel.
Okay, 2
Yeah.
first level. D damage for a first level spell slot. Higher. So 2 for a first level, so it would be 3d8. Right? Yes. 3. $15.
Oh, that's nice damage.
Um,
Average.
A lot of damage.
Let's see.
Please.
No, I can't. I can't do anything else, right?
You've done a
And,
lot.
Do I jumped. Do I still have any movement speed? Any movement at all left? I had 40, so I moved. I used Misty Step for 30.
You have 10 more because of Long Fighter from Oz.
Right, I know, 40.
Oh, okay.
So can I move at all? Or
I think you should be able to move still. One moment. All right. 1 second. All right. All right. 1 second. 1 second. I gotta get my sad boy music playing. Oh, what's that? What's that?
Oh.
Yeah, victory.
How is Noke dying? What did you say, Raisin? What did you do?
I don't know. I did damage to him. I don't.
But how do you end it, Raisin?
Oh, okay. He's dead. I
Wait.
killed him. Okay.
You
How are you gonna do
smited
it?
him. How did you
Okay.
do it?
Oh, I'm gonna do something cool.
give
I'm
me
gonna-
the
I
give me
still-
the climatic.
I still have the great sword of what's it called, right? I take
Mhm.
I take the great sword. I drop my other weapons. I take the great sword, and behind my back, I just go forward with all my strength and just chuck it at him, right into his face.
So you chuck it right into his face.
Yes.
It buries itself deep. But he's a lizard, you know. He's a real snake of a person.
Oh.
And as you chuck it into his face, you see it begin to change. The bandages start coming off and exposing
wow.
his true self. But you've prepared for this moment, Raisin. You were born for this. You are a paladin of vengeance. And as he's beginning to take true form, the blade still buried into him, your hand clutches it, and the storm begins to awaken above you. And you see holy light begin to pour in through the storm before a huge bolt of golden lightning strikes your hand as you reach into the sky. You smite this dragon. You send this mage to wherever hell it came from,
Nice. Okay.
leaving a smoldering pile of ash.
Nice.
Let's go.
Strike from the gods.
Damn,
turn me to
Paladin
ash.
OP.
Very nice.
I
Paladin OP.
realized who he really was. I drop to my knees, crying. I yell, "Finally, my vengeance is done. I can rest."
Awesome.
And that's that. I continue to cry.
The apes look to you with uncertainty. But even they won't challenge whatever creation just slayed their master. As they drop their great swords, pick up their d20s, and walk into the forest with them. But there is still one thing we need to uncover.
Oh,
We need to change him back.
Oz,
yes.
you have yet to show us what you've been hiding this entire time.
Huh?
That you are this grand mage that Shine Bright thinks you are.
He's this grand mage with level 1 spells.
Mm-hmm.
Or was that a disguise? Are you hiding it?
Is he?
So Oz, you clever little monster. The Shine Bright finds the wand from the ground and is quick to run up the ramp. His little hooves clapping against the wood as he climbs up, and he surrenders the wand to you.
Oh.
And he looks to you with a reassuring look, knowing that you will pull this off, one way or another. Oz, do you take the challenge?
I take the challenge.
All right. So Oz, I need you to do 2 things for me.
Alright.
I need you to roll me an Arcana.
Okay. No.
Oh my god.
Does anyone want to help Oz as he tries to control the wand?
Dax. Dax definitely
Uh,
steps in and says,
Arcana.
"Any guidance I can offer you, Oz," and reaches out to help, to take the help.
I
action.
can't. It's intelligence. I can't help at all with this.
So Oz,
Yes.
because he is helping you, you have advantage on that. A 20 will suffice for this initial part.
Okay.
It is not a very well put together wand. It has seen some modifications to it, so there is room for failure. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw. Sorry, intelligence saving throw.
Intelligent. Alright. Intelligent. Net 20,
Come on.
please.
No whammy.
Oh.
Yes! Nice.
Yes.
Saving it for that. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. So Oz,
Right.
you managed to control the wand with the help of Dax. And as you manage to control the wand, you conjure some of your own magic into it, because magic is never one path. There is never one correct way to get to the end, or at least what one believes to be the end. And as you hold this wand, you point it into to Shine Bright's direction, and there's a surge of light that transcends around the entirety of the room. Oz, what does Shine Bright look like? What image do you have in your head?
I imagine the most handsome man at the age like 30
Mm-hmm.
with the slim body and a human. Yep. With the long
Okay.
hair.
I'd have made it a little funnier. I would have.
I'm
I would have made him a goblin or something.
I cannot because he is my mentor, so I need him to teach me the skill.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So, Oz, you have an image in your mind, and you imprint it onto Shine Bright, who then takes the form and looks upon himself in this new form with a deep happiness, and he looks to you and folds his arms behind his back, and he says, "And how will I repay you?"
Yeah, I'm guessing he gained like 30 or 40 years in youth from that, right?
Yep. Give me your spell book.
Well,
Master.
he was an elf initially, so I guess
Oh, okay. He turned him into a human. Oh,
He's downgrade.
oh, that's not cool.
Oh no.
No, I forgot.
I mean, he could use the wand himself again,
Yeah.
change himself back later, as long as he has opposable thumbs.
And then as an answer for that, I asked him, please grant me your spell book.
Yes, please. I yell over. Yes, please teach him anything other than level 1 spells, please.
From the floor, like you're on the ground, so you're just
Yeah,
screaming.
No, I hear I have this sense, and I just yell that into the air. Please, for the love of God, teach him something other than a level 1 spell.
Well, he does say in time that he hopes that your spell book will fill out with some of the knowledge that he has gained himself. That you will translate it into a language that you're familiar with, a codex of magic that fits your needs and not just his. But it's all said and over time. Nothing is immediate with magic, and so he accepts you as an apprentice. And but obviously it's a little bit more as he also learned some things from you, as you seem to endured so long on these level 1 spells that perhaps he overlooked something with magic missile.
It is a pretty powerful spell.
Yes,
for a
really
level 1
powerful.
spell.
Classic.
So as the groups are sort of collecting and things are beginning to die down a bit.
Yeah, I
Jax,
get up off the ground and I go this way. There.
Yep. And Dax, you find, being a druid, there's a certain keen sense that you have about the landscape, whether something is off or there's an imbalance or something just isn't quite right. But as when Noak had passed, you felt that the land was returning to normalcy, and with that, you began to see some of the spirits of your particular totem lining the trees and what have you. And while others might not be able to see these spirits or enjoy the certain wisdom and guidance that comes from them, you will always have a place or a spot in this particular forest.
Awesome. My friends, we did well today. I look around at the spirits, around my new companions. Thank you so much.
I see everybody talking like it's over, and I'm like, well, I think we need a drink. Let's head back to the tavern. And we head back to the tavern.
Honey mead to go around.
Yep.
Definitely.
Some apple crisples, honey crisples.
And Kai, your story definitely doesn't end here. Unfortunately, this was just the start of your story. The introduction to these orcs and Noak has really awakened something, that there are that the events of your past aren't secluded, that they continue wherever these orcs tend to track. And what better hunter than one that knows them so well? And with that, everybody, that is the end of the Wild Sheep Chase.
Nice.
Ooh, all right.
Yay!
Ah!
I just want to note that we weren't the only we didn't fail.
Yeah.
Were we close?
I don't think that.
Yeah, what might have transpired? Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, everything always comes to chance, you know?
I could have been turned into a sheep.
True.
I can be turned into sheep because I using
Yeah.
the stagger rolling one.
Yeah.
I love that concept. Just all level 1 spells.
Yeah. I've been kicked out by the mentor. Say I need to learn my own a new spell.
Mm.
The creative idea for big time. Yeah, well, that's fun. I mean, it's
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
we
a
should
lot.
yeah.
Oh, that was
It's quite-
so fun.
Yeah.
This group's got some great grit too, some great real life constitution. We've been going quite a while. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love the
for-
storytelling too, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
we take so
Thanks.
many precaution steps.
Thanks. I appreciate it. This is my favorite adventure to run. It's never the same. Everyone's taking a different route, approached it a different way, and hopefully, you felt like everything was sort of your own. Your backstories all find their way in there somewhere, and hopefully this is if this is your first time playing Dungeons and Dragons, hopefully it's not your last, because once you land into a campaign and stuff, you get to take this and you get to take it to that next level and just keep bringing it forward and developing that character. So
I feel bad for
Sure.
Dax because that whole fight he stood in the corner, not doing anything.
I felt good about everything.
I mean,
glad-
at first I gave you a chance to come into the fight, but you decided to stand there.
that was some amazing burst damage at the end. Could have gone very
Yeah.
different. So we
Yeah, it could have went.
That was the
Yeah.
most
Different,
important
yeah.
rule. Talk to the host to find the shine bright.
Oh yeah, he had a good time talking to the horse, and he
Yeah.
did figure out the whole sheep thing with Shinebright.
Yeah, that's a progress to story.
Yeah, it's my first time ever playing any druidic type character, so I was definitely able to lean into that. So I really enjoyed it. It's a really fun group. I really appreciate it.
Hmm.
Good.
yeah, druids are one of my personal favorites, but I always find myself playing that bard.
Yeah,
Yep.
every group needs a bard.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Cool. Well,
So what was the whole circle thing? I'm curious because I still didn't grasp the idea.
Yeah, so the idea is it's a
Wall,
so it's a way for you to get sort of creative with it, right? It's a barrier where you can say, all right, he can't zap us while we're in here. We know we're safe in here.
Do you play any? Have you ever played any Apex?
Oh, me?
Video game? Yeah.
Apex? No. But I could like kind of figure out in like other games I played.
Yeah.
So it's like a
It's
shield,
like the
but-
dome shield that people put out.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
dome
Yeah.
shield. Essentially, anything that's non-magical, essentially that's not a spell, can pass through the shield. So it's just another outlet or another tool that you have at your disposal of, how do we get this mage to sort of come down to our level, and when he's down to our level, how can we sort of contain him if we don't have the means to fight him any other way? Another thing a group did is that they distracted him by taking the doors and essentially holding them up so he can't get line of sight on them.
Oh,
Ah.
sure.
Because he
Oh,
levitates,
that's
he doesn't
smart.
fly. Yeah, he doesn't fly.
Oh, okay.
And so while he's up there, he can only go up and down, right? And so in order for him to change spots, he has to go back down.
Oh.
Okay.
So they pretty much use the doors as shields.
Yep.
That's smart.
Very cool.
What I
your
was
spot.
trying to do, like, when I was looking for like the mirror, I only found a hand mirror, or else things would have been different. I was hoping to find like a bigger saucer with like a reflective material, and I was gonna try and bounce his ray back at him. I mean, would that have even worked?
The problem with it is because in the description, Shinebright tells you is that it can take non-living things and make them living things. And so
Okay.
if it would have hit the mirror, right, it
Right.
doesn't necessarily infect him. It would just turn the mirror into something else.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Suddenly you have a python in your hand or suddenly or something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yep. But that is a way to get him to essentially bait out the wand, right? He can only
Right.
use the wand a certain amount of times, and and that's something that Shinebright says is that it's super temperamental. Like it's it doesn't work 100% of the time, and so sometimes you can just win by having him hit shoot objects, right? And then he just fails a save and he polymorphs.
That's why I suggest
I'm
Bye.
thinking that it would have went really differently if I didn't kill him in that burst damage.
Yep.
We would have been face to face with the Black Dragon.
Yep. His note was
one of the strongest dragons there are.
Yep, his note is that when he had essentially the opportunity to do so after you attack him and stuff, he would hit you with the wand. And so you would at least get to attack him first. It wouldn't be as as sudden as you're as soon as you jump down, he goes zap and turns you into a bunny or something,
In midair, I land on my feet as a bunny. Like, what happened? And Bunny Nose just twitches like,
It's so
why do I
funny.
suddenly feel like eating carrots?
There was a time where they tried to diplomatize him and get him to assist in their sort of endeavor if they would ensure that Shinebright wouldn't reprimand him after, right?
Yeah.
For all the things that he had done. He wanted to get away, skate free with all the notes that he sort of collected, right? And so they gave him the wand again, and they're like, okay, turn Shinebright back into his true self. And so instead, he turns himself into the dragon, and so he became a dragon, and he flew away.
Oh no!
He flat. Oh, does he attack? He didn't attack. He just flows away.
Yep.
Flies away.
Yep, because he becomes a great dragon, and then it's sort of like alluded to that the group, after turning Shinebright back into his true form, that they would take quest and pursue after this dragon.
Cool. Wow.
Oh, that's cool. Sounds like the beginning of like a group of heroes who started like a calamity.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, we released the Black Dragon on everything.
So we're gonna go and kill the dragon. How I'm curious, how
think that
did
would require like a level 15 to 16, 18 around that character to kill that dragon.
Oh no, for sure. How did Noak knew we were there, by the way?
So there's a thing with the door, right? So what you're supposed to do is when you go in there, because like Shinebright says, hey, you said to him like, hey, do you have any advice about the thing? Like he's like, yeah, I know that they have like guards and stuff, but there are loose scrolls. Like he probably has gone through the loose scrolls and modified the place. And so the thing is that when you're within a certain proximity of the door, it triggers a silent alarm for him. So he knows that something or someone is by that door that is not specified to his condition. And so if you don't detect magic, you don't pick it up.
This also reason why I investigation 1, so I cannot see anything.
Yep.
Level 1s. So I'm just curious because like most of us, we kind of just went back and forth of entering and non-entering. Does it warn him how many? Like, does it just like keep going off, or does it just go off once?
Nope, it just goes off once, and then he
okay.
knows that someone's there, and that's why you hear doors clatter. Is because just like how I explained, you guys are trapped behind these doors,
Okay. He ran. That was him running over the door.
Yep, that was him moving over the doors and the doors clattering.
Oh, okay. Damn.
So he did around here, right? So the note should be around here before we alert him, right?
But yeah,
Alright.
so that's there's a lot of outcomes to this one. There isn't I don't, like I said, out of this 7 times I've run this one, there's I don't think a single story has ever come close to another one. I think there's a group that just they're like, we need to find a sheep. I don't know what all these other people are doing. The town's not talking to us. We're just gonna find the sheep, and they just spent their time in the town finding the sheep. They find Shine Bright really early on, and then they have to protect Shine Bright as Goose and his buddies enter the town.
Oh, that's cool. That just sounds
Yeah.
really fun. And as like the DM, you live like different stories. Each
Mhm.
one's slightly different. That's fun.
Yeah.
I have played as a DM. Being DM is really hard. Yeah, I totally respect you
bet.
play as a DM.
Yeah.
Yeah, being a DM isn't the easiest thing in the world, but it's that sort of satisfaction that like my favorite thing right now is just getting people into the hobby and ensuring like they have a baseline that they don't go like, oh, Critical Role, Matt Mercer, everyone's going to be Matt Mercer, like going into
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my experience with this is like I've had 13 plus years of playing Dungeons and Dragons and various offshoots like Call of Cthulhu and stuff like that. And I'm just like, don't ever compare me to like the other DMs and stuff like that, because everyone has their own style. Some DMs are very story driven. Some of them like you'll it's a war game. Like every instance of combat matters. So, but yeah. So, hopefully this is a good base. If any of you want to take up the mantle of a DM or something like that, always feel free to reach out. Everyone in the server has played the Wild Sheep Chase, so definitely if you're looking to start a group, there are some really really good people here. They're a lot of them are newer to the game and stuff like that, so you shouldn't ever think, oh, what if they don't like it, their expectations of it are, that. And I always post here first, so if I have another one shot, like I think I run the Chicken Lair as one of them. Well, the Chicken Lich Lair. Did I say that right? No, Lair of the Chicken Lich, that's it. So I always post here, so if you've played in one of the games before, I always extend it out to those people first, just because you endured one game, So yeah,
Awesome.
cool. All right.
All right.
Well-
Thank you again. Yeah, it's been
Alright, thank you very much for hosting the game.
Yeah, of course. Have a good one. Have a great rest of your week.
you too.
Yeah.
Thank
care,
you, you
guys.
too.
Thanks.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Night, everyone.
Alright, bye bye. Thank you.